What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yet another edition of Throwback Thursday. Jeff, I know you've been enjoying the content as much as I've been enjoying digging through and putting it all up and together.
I'm not gonna lie. I was trepidatious watching this, especially my stuff. I hate watching my stuff, you know that. But it's been interesting to go back and watch it because, as I said, I become less of a dick as the shows go on Talk Wrestling, which is thank God I did because the first show was so bad. But man, you have been like reaching into the vault, man. I almost feel like I want to grab Mickey Mouse on SNL. I'm like, no, protect the content. They didn't sell. So man, such good stuff to watch, and today is no exception, sir.
Yes, thank you once again to Aaron Rift of the NoDQ YouTube channel, James Hebert of the JH95 / FTW Productions, Noel Foster from the Simple Man brand, and of course, you, good sir, for the
Yes,
Jeff Meacham Network, for allowing me access to all the content that was previously discussed in private
yes,
amongst all of you guys, because there are limitations about what can and can't be posted, but
yeah. Unfortunately,
especially a big thank you once again to Aaron Rift for allowing me access to the no DQ stuff. That stuff has really helped make the process and the Throwback Thursdays succeed and thrive, I think.
absolutely.
Sit back, relax, everybody, enjoy as we bring to you yet another week of Throwback Thursday content.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios. an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 37 of Talk Wrestling here on NoDQ and MySpace and of course YouTube. Thank you everybody for watching last week. A lot of comments about one particular person on the show last week, and it wasn't anybody I talked about. In the middle of my sign-off last week, we saw a black and white promo from a certain former co-host of mine on XMV. For those of you who remember XMV, I hope you do. You've seen some of the video clips that Aaron has posted in the last year or so since we started doing Talk Wrestling. Mike Nagel is apparently back on the internet media circuit, if you will. He's bought commercial time on this show, which shows how popular this show is, by the way. Mike has taken it upon himself to use his friendship with Aaron to get his business over. Hey, more power to him, I guess. So be prepared for the next Nagel commercial whenever that happens. It will happen sometime today, I'm sure. But stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for your questions being answered. I went through 60-something questions, got 10 of the best ones, and we're going to go to it. This is from Phil. Should the second-generation superstars, DiBiase, Rhodes, and Manu, reform Evolution with Deuce, who is Jimmy Snuka's son, even though he's adopted, and Jesse from Jesse and Festus, who is actually Terry Gordy's son. He's Ray Gordy. Should they reform Evolution with those two guys, or would that be too big a stable? Should Flair come in and advise them? Should Triple H come in and advise them? I think that Evolution's time has come and gone. I firmly believe that. Evolution was great for its day, but it's done with now. I like the stable of DiBiase, Rhodes, and Manu. I don't think they need to add any more people. Maybe Deuce, if they do it right. The problem is they had Deuce come out as Deuce. They had him come out as the greaser guy, and he jobbed to, I think it was either JBL or Batista recently, so it kind of makes him look bad, but you know, what the hell, there's shit everywhere, bugs and birds and planes and everything. It's crazy. This one's from Nick Madrid. How do you feel about wrestler autobiographies? Since the best-selling autobiography by Mick Foley, wrestlers have been writing them whether their careers are over or not, whether how long they've been in the company or not. Do you think they should be saved for the end of their career? Yes, I do. An autobiography is a memoir. A memoir should be saved for the end of your career, toward the end of your life. I mean, we didn't see Ronald Reagan's memoirs until he was already gone, God bless him. We saw his memoirs from the White House. Mick Foley wrote his at what he thought was going to be the end of his career. Obviously, that's not the case. He wrote Have a Nice Day in 1999, and here we are still talking about Mick Foley in 2008. So he's going to be talked about probably for the next few months with being with TNA. But like The Rock had his come out not too long after Mick Foley's, and The Rock wasn't done for another 4 years. Kurt Angle, same thing. Kurt Angle's nowhere near done in 2001. He's still wrestling. He's still a world championship contender in 2008. But guys like Hogan and Flair and, Chris Jericho writing his about the first half of his career prior to WWE, that made sense. But guys like The Rock and Kurt Angle and, those guys writing wrestler autobiographies doesn't make sense. But guys like Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, Harley Race, that makes more sense for sure. It's from Greg Cherry, our old buddy Greg Cherry. Thanks for sending the question again, Greg. Is it a problem that TNA won't give either of the beautiful people the TNA Knockouts title? They are centered around Kong and Taylor Wilde. Right now, they're centered around Kong and Roxy. That's the big feud in the Knockouts division right now. Taylor's kind of taking a back seat again. Kong is going to be the focal point of the Knockouts division. She's the most dominant knockout they have. She's going to be the focal point no matter if she's the champion or not. I do think either Velvet or Angelina should get a legitimate shot at the championship and not those jobs that they had against Taylor where Taylor beat Velvet 3 times in the span of like 30 seconds or whatever. That was stupid. I think the beautiful people deserve a legitimate chance. They're the most over heels in the company right now, in my opinion. And the fact that they were left off Impact was ridiculous. They should be featured every week. They're the best thing the heels have going on TNA right now. So it is a problem that they're not the champions. It is a problem that one of them is not the champion, and they should be showcased more. The story of my life, Southern Fried. These names, I tell you, these names on MySpace are incredible to me. Who could go to TNA and help the TNA tag team division? Because WWE seems to be doing something about their tag team division, but TNA kind of is in a stalemate, in a stalwart with their tag team division. Really, I don't think there's anybody that can help the TNA tag team division right now. They just need to build on what they have. I think they need to just build on Beer Money Incorporated, build on LAX, Team 3D, Rocket Rave Infection, the Prince Justice Brotherhood. All those teams can be built upon if they're pushed right, if they're built the right way. I think the TNA is making the whole tag team division rather goofy, if you want my honest opinion about it, and they're not taking it very seriously like they once did with AMW and Triple X and all those tag teams back in the heyday, the original TNA back in 2002 to 2004. Who's the best tag team in wrestling today? Rhodes and DiBiase. They are the World Tag Team Champions on Raw. They are the best young team. They're the best team right now in wrestling, in my not-so-humble opinion. The best tag team of all time probably has to be the Road Warriors or the Dudley / Team 3D. You're asking for my opinion, that's what it is. There you go. This is from I wrote it down funky, so I can't read it. G Scrodge or GS Garage or something. I'm sorry I messed up your name, dude. What is your favorite all-time wrestling video game among the SmackDown vs. Raw games, the SmackDown games in general, WCW, WWE, No Mercy, and that kind of thing? SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 is my all-time favorite wrestling game. The graphics were great, the gameplay was good, the controls were easy. You could revert back to the old PS2 controls, so that was easy for me. And I like the legends on that game. You got Eddie, you got Hogan, you got Dusty Rhodes, Stone Cold, The Rock, Shane McMahon, Taz, Jerry Lawler, and the CAW on that game is great. I love my CAW character on that game. I created myself, and it's a great game. What? Oh, do we have to? Oh. Against my better judgments, the following announcement has been paid for by the Nagel World Order.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Nagel World Order.
Hey yo, want to make a fashion statement? Go to myworld.ebay.com/jsell for you. We got what you're looking for. Chris Jericho. We got your favorite movie star, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's jerseys, brand new and sealed. Hardy Boys merchandise, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and so much more. Check us out on eBay, because it's for life.
The preceding announcement has been paid for by the Nagel World Order.
Nagel's eBay site. You can buy all kinds of weird shit, all kinds of old merchandise. He'd probably sell your mom for $1.50, so put your mom up on eBay. He'll probably sell it for you. R.I.P. Ben Sutton, 1980, I think it's 86 to 2008. If I could choose WrestleMania main events for Raw and SmackDown right now, what would they be? In the Raw main event, I would like to see World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho still be World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Batista. And on SmackDown, WWE Champion Jeff Hardy against Triple H in a rematch from No Mercy. This is from South Jersey Rocks. If you could pick any match from any era and put it on a WrestleMania, what would some of those matches be? Not just WWE matches I'm going to go with on this one. Any of the 3 Steamboat versus Flair matches that were on TV the year of '89, either at the Chi-Town Rumble, Clash of the Champions, or Wrestle War. Great 3-match series. Any of those 3 belong on pay-per-view at WrestleMania. Hogan Savage from WrestleMania 5, even though they had to, from what I understand, they practiced a lot of that match because Randy's kind of paranoid. Flair and Harley Race from Starrcade in the cage. The Hogan Andre. Bret Hart and the British Bulldog from SummerSlam 92. Bret Hart and Kurt Hennig from SummerSlam 91. Mr. Perfect and Shawn Michaels. Mr. Kurt Hennig and Shawn Michaels from SummerSlam 93. Anything with Shawn Michaels, Kurt Hennig, Bret Hart, British Bulldog, Hogan, Piper, Flair, Steamboat, any of those guys belong on pay-per-view anytime. Ronson wrote a long email about seeing the AWA on ESPN Classics and wants my opinion on the AWA. I haven't seen much of the AWA except what WWE released on their Spectacular Legacy, the AWA DVD, and I like the AWA. They were responsible for some of the bigger names in wrestling: Hogan, Flair, Rhodes, the Rockers, Mean Gene Okerlund, Bobby the Brain Heenan. They all got their start in the AWA and arguably made their name in the AWA before they jumped to Vince and took off with the wrestling world in the 80s. AWA had a lasting legacy. They're still around in some form today through AWA Superstars of Wrestling. They claim lineage to the old World Championship. It's not the same championship, obviously, but that company claims lineage to the AWA, and rightfully so. You know, the AWA has a great legacy. They have a great title history. Some of the big names in wrestling held the AWA Championship. Nick Bockwinkel, Vern Gagne, guys like that. Maurice Vachon, the Mad Dog. Maurice was the Mad Dog. Paul was the Butcher. That's right. Okay, Mad Dog Vachon, those guys. Interesting to see what's going to happen with AWA guys being inducted in the Hall of Fame. You talk about AWA being released on DVD, and the current AWA is getting sued by WWE, or they have been sued by WWE regarding their use of the name, and the current AWA is just like, whatever, we have rights to it, we bought it, we licensed it, whatever, and the WWE is like, well, we own the trademark, so you got to go through us. So it's interesting. The current AWA Wrestling Superstars Wrestling Champion is Larry Zbyszko, who was the last AWA champion before they folded in '91. So very interesting to me that the AWA still continues on in some form to this day. Here we go. It's time for the question of the week. I understand the last week they did it on purpose. You're real cute, guys. Very funny. I may not do it after this week. We'll see. Because I know this guy did do it on purpose. But it's still funny. This question was sent to me on September 15th. Keep that in mind. September 15th, I got this email. The rumors are crazy. They say the Wildcat left TNA to WWE and in 4 months will arrive in WWE. True or false? The Wildcat, those of you who don't know, is Chris Harris, who debuted as Braden Walker in WWE way before September 15th and was released before September 15th, as a matter of fact. It hurts. It really hurts. I'm not going to give the guy a name. I'm not going to give the guy's name because that's just rude. But they actually asked that question. He did. It's right here. There you go. I wrote it down off my MySpace. September 15th, 2008, he sent that question in, that Chris Harris was going to WWE from TNA and that he would be debuting in 4 months. Here he debuted. He already got released within 2 weeks. The Miz even made fun of it on ECW last week. That's how bad it was for Chris Harris. It's from Hale Shane. Opinion on WCW champions and WWE not being the true WCW champions. That's basically what he said. I feel that's kind of a lame argument. The WCW Championship carried over into the Invasion. They carried over when WCW was bought by WWE back in 2001. And the WCW title lineage continued from Booker T to Kurt Angle, back to Booker, to The Rock, to Jericho, to The Rock, and to Jericho again at Vengeance before they were unified with the WWF Championship. I think that they can be considered true WCW champions because they carried on the lineage and they had great champions. Booker T was a great champion. Kurt Angle was a good champion for 6 days. The Rock was a tremendous WCW champion. Chris Jericho, won the big one by winning the WCW Championship for the first time. That was a big thing for him, leading into him winning the Undisputed title 2 months later. It is not the same championship as the World Heavyweight Championship, despite what WWE wants you to think. It is the successor to the WCW title, but it's not the same title. Much like the WCW title was the successor to the NWA title in WCW, but it wasn't the same championship. Real quick before we sign off, I want to give my quick No Mercy picks. This is all the matches I know about off the top of my head. I kind of did this really quick, so I'm just going to go with it. Candice Michelle will regain the women's title for Beth Phoenix, getting her revenge from a year ago when Beth beat her for the title and then injured her a couple weeks later. Matt Hardy will retain the ECW title somehow over Mark Henry. Batista will become the #1 contender to Chris Jericho's World Heavyweight Championship. Chris Jericho will retain the World Heavyweight Championship over Shawn Michaels somehow, some way. And Triple H will just barely get by Jeff Hardy and retain the WWE Championship. That's it for the predictions. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Talk Wrestling. Congratulations to Mike Nagel for interrupting my show again today. And stay tuned next week for more. Don't forget to get out and vote November 4th. BarackObama.com, I'm plugging it. That's right. I'm getting political on your asses. And we'll see you next week on Talk Wrestling.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeep's here. Keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this installment of the Renegade of Wrestling. I am your host, JJ Williams, here to bring you my thoughts on some of the happenings of the last couple of weeks in wrestling. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot to talk about as far as indie wrestling goes, so y'all are actually safe for a week. I shouldn't hear any hooting and hollering about, SoCal guys that only a couple hundred people know about. Although I would like to put over really quick our 31 days of interviews that we've been featuring on the channel. Hope y'all have been enjoying that. Interviews with GQ Money, Lucky O'Shea, Tara Calloway, Mikey Callahan O'Shea, all already featured up there. Interviews to come in the next few days with Eric Cross, Big Nasty Eric Watts from Tough Enough, and a slew of others to come past that. One of the big news topics that came out this week, and I'm a little surprised that Statboy didn't touch on it. I know why Jeff didn't, and that's because I asked him not to, and that's Lillian Garcia is back with the WWE. After a 2-year hiatus of her doing her music career, she is back with Vinnie Mac and the crew to be the ring announcer on SmackDown. Now, I'm assuming that this past Tuesday was her first day back. I guess we'll find out on Friday when the show airs. Personally, I think if I was going to re-debut her, I'd have waited till Tribute to the Troops and bring her out there, since she's an ex-Army brat, well known for doing the anthem at all the live shows and whatnot. I would have maybe saved her for the Tribute to the Troops show and had that be her debut back. John Morrison has had his contract expire from the company. I know Jeff touched on that a little bit. I know that there's been rumors that TNA is vastly interested in signing him and Melina. Don't really know how I feel about him going to TNA. I definitely think TNA might be able to benefit from Melina in their Knockouts division. I think John Morrison would just be either another X Division type guy that gets lost in the shuffle after a while, or he'll be world champion by the middle of next year, and it's like, seriously? He's good, but is he TNA Heavyweight Championship material? No. Not when you've got homegrown guys like Bobby Roode, James Storm, AJ Styles, all there and more than willing and able to carry the ball. I don't think John Morrison really has anything to add to that division in terms of at least a long-term champion. You're probably noticing my shirt. I finally got my Wild t-shirt in the mail the other day, thanks to the Wild Fan Club Twitter guy. Don't even know what your name is, but thank you. This Saturday, December 10th, we've been pushing it hard on Facebook, we've been pushing it hard on Twitter, we've been pushing it hard on the shows. This Saturday, December 10th, from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. in Long Beach, California, off of Atlantic and Carson, Long Beach Clothing Company. Going to have a autograph signing featuring Tara Calloway, the Wild North American Champion, Winter, the Wild World Champion and former WWE Diva and current TNA Knockout, and Shelly Martinez, formerly known as Ariel in the WWE and Salinas in TNA. They're going to be in Long Beach signing autographs, and then at 6 p.m., just off of Woodruff and Carson, down the road a few blocks at the Lakewood YMCA, will be Epic Wars show. They don't really have a name for it, as far as like, you know, some kind of snazzy title, but it'll be their return, their re-debut, their relaunch, if you will. And they've got a slew of great talent coming over there. Local guys like Ridiculously Big, Anchors Away, Eric Cross, Jarek Matthews, Winter versus Tara for the Wild title.
Marcus.
Going to have ECW hardcore legend New Jack is going to be there. They still haven't announced what he's going to be doing yet. Hardcore Kid Aaron Aguilera, known to y'all WWE fans as Jesus, Carlito's bodyguard, or one of Los Conquistadors. Was it Dos or Uno?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know him and Daniels were the guys, but...
It was probably Uno, I'm thinking, because Uno probably was Edge.
He's the taller one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe.
So Conquistador Uno from Los Conquistadors, Jesus,
if you don't know, look it up,
Carlito's
man.
bodyguard.
Didn't get the job done either, Jesus.
He's going to be taking on Chikara's Tim Donst.
Former Epic War Champion. Actually, both of them are Epic War Champions.
So it will be a very, very epic show, if you will. You like what I did there.
There's also the big controversy, what's going to happen with the championship.
This is true. I was just getting to that.
Okay.
Thank you for jumping ahead of me.
No problem.
There's been a lot of controversy circulating the internet in the last couple days because Epic has parted ways with their Wild World Champion, the New York Knockout Nicky.
Their Epic War Champion.
Epic, excuse me.
The World Champion.
I'm so caught up in the Wild Mania, brother.
That's right, brother.
If you will. The Epic World Champion. Epic has parted ways with their champion, Nicky, the New York Knockout. So now the title is vacant. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen with that. Who is Marcus Riot going to take on now in order to determine the champion? Or is the match completely going to get thrown out the window with some two new people thrown in there? Maybe this is where New Jack will fit in. Quite possibly.
If I know the Epic GMs, Sammy and Ryo, like I think I do, because I've watched them growing up, they're going to come up with something wild and bizarre to make the fans go, oh my god, when they show up to the show.
Should we have Joey Styles on standby?
I think we should. We need to talk to Gary about that. I think we should.
I think we should get a combination of a Joey Styles oh my god scream and that horrid oh my god song from the OMG DVD.
I'm good on that.
And have both audio clips on standby and just press a button throughout the night.
There you go.
So you either get oh my god or it'd be oh my god. Anyways.
If y'all haven't seen the DVD, you might want to have your mute button on standby every...
Seriously, because it was okay the first 5 numbers, but by the time you got down to like number 23, you're like sitting there going along with it, just bobbing back and forth. It was horrid.
It was.
But I'm getting completely off track, and I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, so I hope my bullshitting is at least entertaining, if not anything else. The holidays are right around the corner. We all know that, as you can tell by our lovely Christmas tree in the backdrop. Prominently featured, of course, are the wrestling ornaments. We've got Masked Kane back over here, Triple H, John Cena, Thugonomics John Cena over here. You got the Nexus logo.
Get one down there in the corner by your left elbow there.
Yeah, we got another one with Chris Benoit. Shows you how out of date that is.
Yep.
Chris Benoit, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels are the featured ones right there.
The most featured is Fozzie Bear, right there, baby.
That's right. Waka Waka, who, of course, made an appearance on Raw.
And
Should be on Tribute to the Troops.
There you
We
go.
know at least Kermit and Piggy will.
Of course.
But December 10th, December 10th, December 10th, December 10th. Have I told you guys about December 10th? That's really all I've got to say for this week. You know, just wanted to make that hard sell push there towards December 10th. Get as many butts into Long Beach Clothing Company to check out their merchandise, because it is awesome merchandise. You've seen me wear it before. You've seen Jeff wear it. I think you've seen Statboy Rocket. You've seen Double A Rocket. You've seen us film there numerous times. Get your asses down to Long Beach Clothing Company. Put some dollars into Kenji and Sean and Robert's pockets. Put some dollars into Tara, Winter, and Shelley's pockets. Put some dollars into Travis's pocket. Buy the very first ever Wild DVD.
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild, yes. Wild Volume 1, featuring such wild warriors as New York Knockout Nikki, the Fabulous Thunder Kitty, Lucky O'Shea, I believe Tab Jackson is on there.
Kiara Dillon. The first ever Wild Championship match between Chloe and Kiara Dillon is on there.
Thank you. That is on there too. You know, $10 gets you that. I'm sure it's an awesome DVD. So make sure you're there at Long Beach Clothing Company. And then, like I said, 6 o'clock, make sure you go down the road a piece down to Woodruff and Carson and see the epic show. You'll see me there. You'll see Jeff there. You might even see Statboy there. I don't know. Depends on how exciting the allure is of UFC as opposed to hanging out with the Casa D18 Studios crew.
Well, he also works, so...
No one cares about that. So, be on the lookout for all that, and we'll see you around here on the channel.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, And NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion, Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate, will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies' Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
How do, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Chicks on Wrestling episode, what? Episode, what?
What the fuck ever?
I'm your hostess, Pinky, and this is, who?
Half asleep Jade, but it's late at night. We're
tired. We want to go bed.
For you guys.
You better be glad we love you, otherwise we wouldn't do it at all, you bastards. Okay. Shush, girl.
Really?
Really? How the fuck I feel about it? You bastards.
She gets cranky.
I'm very cranky. I'm cranky 2 times. Never mind. In the morning and right before bed. And the other time y'all need nobody.
This show's gone butt fuck you already.
I know. They can kiss her ass. They don't like it. We got some Hell in a Cell I said it. What you gonna do about it? We have some Hell in a Cell predictions for y'all.
Yay!
Woo! Hell in a Cell. That big 16-foot high structure and.
Which your man was the first one, right?
Yes. Taker. For those of y'all who don't know.
And that's coming from me. Yeah, that's right. Me.
She didn't know that. But she knows
No,
that.
I did.
What?
I did.
Shush. It's funny. Taker. Shut up, girl. Taker and Shawn Michaels actually competed in the very first Hell in a Cell, October 5th, 1997. The pay-per-view was Bad Blood. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, woo, woo. Fantastic match, although we lost Brian Pillman that night, so. Happy birthday, Stat Boy.
Oh?
Duh, you forgot his birthday's October 5th? What the hell is it? Anyway.
Told you, it's late at night.
Late my ass. Shut up. We have some predictions to make. Match number 1, and shut up. And I doubt if we're going to go in this particular flippant order, but we have Randy Orton versus Alberto Del Rio.
Randy.
Yeah, Randy. Duh. He's competed at least one other Hell in a Cell from 2005, my baby.
Actually, you know what?
What?
And it's sad. I'm really, really sad I'm going to do this.
Go ahead.
I'm going to change my pick, and I'm going to pick Alberto.
Why?
Because he needs this push. Randy's had this for how long now?
Shut up.
He's had the spotlight for how long now?
2002. 10 years. Get over it.
And how long has Alberto?
So? We don't care.
He needs it.
No, he does not.
He does.
Randy Orton
I'm
wins.
sorry, but I think.
No, I ain't sorry. Randy Orton wins. RKO, hanging DDT, and punch to the head. Hey, Ricardo Rodriguez, stay out of the way of the RKO.
I love you, Chewie.
I can't stand you right now. Your character, that is, you jerk. 80 Whoville, that's number 1. The Divas.
Bathroom break.
Smoke break. Divas Championship match. Oh God. E-Taurus Champion Boo versus Caitlyn. I hope to God. Is it Eve versus Layla versus Caitlyn? Really? Y'all ain't got nothing to do but stick the 3. Aw.
Might be good.
Oh
I don't
God.
know.
Excuse me.
I'll probably be in the bathroom while it's on, but
I'll probably be outside as well. But what I would tell you this would be better for these divas. So sick of that word, divas champions. What kind of crap is that? Bring back the women's title.
I was gonna say it needs to be just the women's.
But they're not women, they're little girls. And therefore they're divas. I'm just saying. What would be lovely to see, happen to the divas division? Bring back Lita. Hashtag we want Lita. Hashtag I want Lita. Hashtag nobody cares. Hashtag I care.
Lita.
Bring back Lita. China.
Trish.
Where is Trish Stratus with her brunette cute self?
Oh,
Bring back Karma. Woo. Oh, Yoga. Well, she can tie me up in the press. I'll be alright with that. Just saying.
Going back where I don't even know. I'm like,
no, you don't even know that. Anyway, we need to bring back the women's division, not this diva new age crap. Diva. What kind of crap is that anyway? That's almost as bad as the knockouts. I said it. At least they can wrestle.
Crap enough to make us go to the next match.
Hey, we gotta give a prediction in this match anyway it goes.
Aw, man.
I know, don't. Alright, fine. I'm going Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Because I actually had the pleasure of seeing her wrestle in Florida Championship Wrestling, Tampa, Florida, when I was out there, and she's pretty damn good if I do say so myself. Layla, she don't need nothing. Eve, you bitch. You the one in the blonde wig, and it can't be nobody else, it has to be you. So.
The sad thing is, though, is like, the two better ones are Eve and Layla.
Have you seen Caitlyn wrestle?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've seen her on WWE.
I
have not seen her elsewhere.
Oh, well,
but
you're missing a
on
treat.
WWE, she sucks.
Well, hello. Was it not discussed the other day? We had a little roundtable discussion. Casa D18 Studios had a roundtable discussion about the divas and about.
I always say we need to tape.
No, I don't think we need to tape that because some people might get mad.
We do because I'm sorry. I'm putting myself out there and I look like a dumbass on camera here usually. But those roundtables, I kind of actually have a good opinion.
You actually make sense. I like it. Well, we were discussing, divas, whatever, versus knockouts, whatever. Bring back the women's title for the love of God. Give us some women who can actually wrestle. Caitlyn is kick-ass in the ring. The reason why the WWE brass waters them down is because they want them to have longevity. Yeah, we get that point. But damn it, what happened to the, Lita Assault, the chick kick, Mickey James? What happened to the wrestling moves that made us all say, damn, those chicks can actually wrestle? Now we're actually saying, damn, can we go to the bathroom, please? All I know is we need some women that can wrestle, not these divas. Lita, we want Lita, hashtag shenanigans. We want Lita, we need Trish, we need China, we need Karma to kill these bitches. The mid kick, I love me some Mickey James.
Mickey and I went, wait a minute, why didn't we think of her?
I did think of Mickey James. Are you insane?
You didn't say it.
I did say Mickey James.
No.
Oh my God, you are so special. I
First time?
Yeah, I know what the hell I said. I said
Victoria. You didn't say Victoria.
Mickey Laree James. We need her
I didn't know that whole
to come back and whoop these bitches' asses and show them how it's really done. Thank you. I'm still going Caitlyn because she needs to push this her time.
I'm still gonna go Caitlyn, but I think the better two are
Layla and that's not saying much. On to the next match. At least in our book. Tag Team Championship. Not the World Tag Team Champions of the world. Team Hell No comprised of
I'm the tag team champion.
I'm the tag team champion. Match. Comprised of Kane and Daniel Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, whatever freaking you want to call him, versus the Rhodes Scholars. Really?
I think it might be a good match.
No. Tell me why it
might be a good match because of Cody and Bryan.
Okay.
The other two.
Hey, what the hell Kane do to you? Just because Kane's
he's become a joke.
Well, I don't think he'll be
and
much of a joke.
Damien Sandow is a joke.
You have missed the ball on Damien Sandow. I am not one. I am not one to cheer the heels, except for Randy Orton, Taker, Kane, heels. But Damien Sandow, I have the pleasure or displeasure of catching him wrestle in Florida Championship Wrestling. This boy is bad. This man is badass. He can go in the ring. They won't let him show it. They won't. Are you insane?
Hence the reason why I think he sucks.
Well, that's just because you think
it's not my fault.
Well, we're gonna do some homework. She's gonna do some homework on Damien Sandow.
I've been doing some homework.
You ain't done no homework on nobody that fucking matters. Damien Sandow. He can go in the ring with anybody and make them look good. But then again, that was in Florida Championship Wrestling when they were developing their talents. And I had the pleasure of going to. Woo! I love
and
Florida
obviously, yes, he can wrestle because he made it to WWE. But doesn't mean he's showing it on camera.
No, he's not. And I can
smacked my hand
because you're a dork. I can tell you who else, when they show up on WWE television, will be immediately watered down. My boo. Hallelujah. Love me some Leo Kruger. Leo Kruger. Look him up. Google him. Do not Google Dave what I'm talking about. Google Leo Kruger. He is awesome in the ring. He is one of their best heels they've ever had as champion. And he's easy on the eyes too. And I like the heels because he's funny. He can just come out to the ring with the title and give a sneer and the crowd goes nuts. I'm just, the only idiot cheering because it was funny.
I'm looking at you like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, exactly. Homework for her too. Leo Kruger. Hey, boo-boo. I cannot wait to see you on WWE TV. Hopefully WWE brass don't water you down too. Triple H. Asshole.
Hey.
What?
That's not baby daddy.
I don't give a hoot nanny who he is. He is a part of that cycle as well as far as like watering people down. Let them show their talents. Please let them show their talents. You might get better ratings if you do. Just saying. Leo Kruger came to see. I am going for Rhodes Scholars because Team Hell No needs to disband forever. I'm so sick of Kane being a joke. I'm so sick of Bryan Danielson being a joke. We need them to separate and Kane can come back as the big red monster, the devil's favorite demon.
And she just said it all for me.
Exactly.
So.
You got anything to say on that?
Next match? No, because you kind of just said it all.
Oh, well, damn. We're going for the Rhodes Scholars.
Yeah.
Boo. Hey, Cody. Look like your neck threw up, buddy.
I love me some Cody because
can't stand Cody.
Yes, he's easy on the eyes, but he is a great wrestler.
Okay, he's a fantastic wrestler. Don't get me wrong. He comes from
he learned from his daddy and his brother.
Big brother. Yes, he did. Now,
he did his homework.
Apparently, he did. And I'm so sorry, Cody. I love you, boo-boo, for your skills in the ring. It looks like your neck threw up.
Ouch.
What is the truth?
I don't think so. I think you're adorable.
Oh my God, you are so special. Anyway, Rhodes Scholars. Oh Lord, Rhodes Scholars to win, and I'm praying to God Kane turns on Bryan Danielson and just kills him. I'd be happy about that.
I've been waiting for that. I've been wanting that forever.
I know.
Since they got together.
I know, but Team Friendship didn't sound good, and Team Love sounded gay. So Team Hell No won't work better. Whatever. Next match. For the Intercontinental Championship, Kofi Kingston, who is the current champion, versus The Miz. Yay! Yay! I'm going for The Miz on this one. I love you, Kofi, boo-boo. I do. But you're over. You are so over. You don't even need a title. You are so flipping over. You don't need a title. It is time for The Miz to take his rightful place as one of the Intercontinental greats. I'm not saying he's going to be as great as Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I'm not saying he's going to be as great as Macho Man Randy Savage. God rest your soul, buddy. I'm not saying any of that. But if given the chance correctly, he can be one of the greats of this era. Oh God. Here we go. Go ahead, hate
I
him.
think
You can hate
Kofi
me now.
needs to retain
Why?
and turn heel.
I wonder.
It is long awaited for him to turn heel.
Well, we've been waiting on Cena to turn heel for 8 years and it ain't happened yet.
They did a hint of it
When he first showed up.
It looked like they did a hint of it when he was, going after the whole
Nexus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. But it's time.
Then they kind of
Yanked
threw that to the side.
Yeah, because
they need to bring that back.
I want to see him to go heel so bad.
And turn him heel against Truth. And go. Run with it.
I have a question, and Boss Man already said it. For our viewers out there, would this not be the funniest shit ever you've ever seen? Kofi Kingston turns heel on R-Truth, and Trouble in Paradise is Little Jimmy. That's funny.
That's funny, but that'll turn it all into a joke.
Not really, because Kofi's been a face for so long. The fact that he can Trouble in Paradise pretty much a reverse spinning heel kick to the head. I said that. Reverse spinning heel kick to the head on an imaginary character. That shit's funny.
It might turn him... It might be a good thing as far as the heel turn. But it might be like one of those instant loved heels because of it.
Well, I'm sorry, I love you, Kofi, but you are not on the caliber as an instantly loved heel, Randy Orton. Just saying, Randy Orton.
I'm sorry, I even hated Randy when he was heel.
I loved Randy when he was heel. He pulled that off.
When he was heel.
I loved it. Now, I'm not saying him, DDT, and Stephanie was funny, because...
See, that pissed me off.
It was hilarious. But to see the reaction of Triple H, I kind of felt for the guy, but Randy Orton was doing his job. If you hated him, of course you were mad. That means Randy Orton was doing his job.
Yes, I know that, but still.
I know. Anywho, I'm going for The Miz on this one, and yes, Boss Man, you can actually applaud me for this one later. I actually like The Miz. He's a credible champion. He really needs to get his push that he needs. Oh, great. Let me guess, you're going Kofi?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you are.
Damn right.
I'm going Miz. Woo! Okay, we have the World Heavyweight Championship match inside Hell in a Cell.
Gonna work.
Shut up. Sheamus, who is champion. Woo! Ginger. That Ginger's hot. Versus the Big Show. Slow. Whatever the hell I meant. Okay, I'm so sick of Show. I am so sick of this. Okay, you're snooze fest. You're pissed off because everybody keeps talking about 45 seconds. I guess you should be mad you're not the Minute Man, right? Shut the fuck up.
I'm just sick of the same damn thing.
Well, I'm sick of him complaining about 45 seconds.
Every
Shut up!
time he fucking goes into a match
in
a pay-per-view, he's just got knocked the fuck out of somebody. It's just like, seriously?
Well, he's supposed to be big and bad.
Okay, you're big and bad, but you can wrestle.
He actually did a kip up for those of you who don't know that. He actually did a kip up in a match. Scared the hell out of me with the help of a second rope.
Fucking wrestle if
He
he's put to it. But they just sit there and okay.
I have a WMD. I have WMDs too.
I saw that last year. And the year before that.
And the year before that.
I'm bored.
I have a question. If this what he calls a WMD, wouldn't these be the same thing as a WMD, weapons of mass destruction? Because I might just...
Yeah, they are.
I can motor by my own. Anyway, I am going with Sheamus on this one. Because Sheamus actually, besides getting the points of, training with Triple H, actually he's doing pretty damn good for himself. And show him so sick he's on 45 seconds. Shut up. Be glad you're not called the Minute Man. There's even worse things to be called. The Big Slow. Shokishi. The Showster. Hogan. Get in my belly. Anybody remember that?
Wow.
I so remember that. The kill, the freaking fake eyebrows.
I'm going with
Sheamus. I'm going with Sheamus, not just because he's hot. The man can actually wrestle, and the Big Show don't need shit right now. He needs to eat a pork chop sandwich. No, he don't. No, he
Sounds good though.
I know, don't it? Oh. Sounds pretty freaking good. Anyway, last match to talk about. The WWE Championship inside Hell in a Cell, which a lot of the fans are booing for. CM Punk, yay! Best in the world, woo! Versus Ryback. The only reason why Ryback even got this place because John Cena is hurt. Now he's mysteriously feeling better, removing the chips from his shoulder. His elbow should be the chips from the shoulder. I still say CM Punk gets this because there's no way. Oh, unless. Now this has happened before. Money in the Bank ladder match when it goes for the other title instead of the one he should be going for. Dolph Ziggler has the Money in the Bank contract with him still.
I was gonna say
that doesn't necessarily mean he can't switch shows and become champion on Raw or SmackDown, whatever.
Can they do that?
It's been done before. Ask Chris Benoit. Oh, that's right, we can't.
Oh.
Too soon?
Damn.
Too soon? Never too soon. Burn. Hey, Chris Benoit is the only one that's been tag team champions legitimately all by himself when Edge left him alone. Anybody remember that? I do. It was funny, and it was
You remember everything.
I try. I just don't remember my own name sometimes. Anyway, shut up. I'm going with CM Punk. CM Punk retains. Yay, us. And Ryback, really, dude, you botched your finisher.
I don't know if that will happen because they're trying to give Ryback such a push.
What the hell? He needs a push off a fucking bridge? I'm sorry. No,
I'm not talking personal here.
No, I'm not talking. I don't know. No, I'm not talking personally. We're talking about, career-wise. I'm so sick of Ryback.
But
granted, Feed Me More, that sounds like a battle cry for Big Show. What? It does.
More like friggin' Little Shop of Horrors.
Feed me, Seymour.
I'm sorry, I think that every time I see that.
I know. I honestly think he's going to start eating people next. Anyway, Ryback, I love you, but the only reason why you in this match because John Cena was hurt. Now he's mysteriously feeling better. Can we change it to a triple threat match, please?
That'd be awesome, but I don't think it'll happen because I think he is clear to come back, but I don't know if he's really clear to go on to a pay-per-view.
Well, if he's scared to come back, he's scared to get in the ring and wrestle. Simple shit. Anywho, that's our predictions. What do you guys think? Leave your comments right where? Right here at the box of the bottom. Chicks on Wrestling, hashtag that. Google us. Look us up. I am your host.
Give us criticism. Nice
criticism. And if somebody has a problem with the camera work, I am so sorry. Quit hating on me for the camera. At least hate on me for what I say, not the camera work. Wasn't my fault. They really hate on me for the camera. Horrible. Oh, to Logan Gonzalez, thank you for being such a fantastic viewer, fan, subscriber. You are awesome. Your comments on our shows have been very inspiring, and we've taken them to heart, and we've taken them seriously, and we wanted to bring you a better show. So I hope this has been this has been one of the quickest shows we've ever done.
Follow his or hers. I don't even know.
I don't know, but Logan sounds like a dude to me. Yeah. Leave constructive criticism on our page. No hateful, dumbass messages. They will be deleted and you will be blocked. Anywho.
Sorry we didn't wear makeup today. We were just tired.
I don't have to. I don't feel like it. Anywho.
I was the one that had to.
You're a dork. I am your hostess, Pinky, and this is...
I'm Jade.
And this has been Chicks on Wrestling. See ya.
Bye.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
on Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network. Multiverse of Media proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A Video. That's right, I'm the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift, here to answer your questions about the world of wrestling. So let's get right down to it. Out of the first 4 tag team TLC matches, which one was your favorite and why? For me, TLC 2 is the best, followed by the 4th one on Raw when Kane won. I think I always hold a special place in my heart for the very first TLC match at SummerSlam 2000. The spots for that match stick out the most to me. Jeff Hardy jumping off the ladder, Bubba Ray going through all the tables, Lita coming out getting speared by Edge. Just so many crazy bumps in that match, and because it was the first one, I think that's the one that stands out the most to me. Hey Aaron, keep up the great work, love the show. And since you answered a Lita question, I wanted to get your thoughts on how they sent her off with that Crime Time angle. I think she should have gotten a proper send-off like Trish. I agree. I think the problem there was that both Trish and Lita were retiring at the same time, and they were already doing the send-off for Trish, so I guess they just decided to have Lita go out as a heel and do the thing to mock her. But, I mean, she's made cameo appearances here and there, and yeah, I'm thinking they could have done more for her. But, you know, she'll get in the Hall of Fame eventually, and as you saw at the beginning, everyone wants to know who's going in the Hall of Fame. Is this guy going in the Hall of Fame? Is that guy going in the Hall of Fame? They all might go in the Hall of Fame. WWE inducts like 10 guys a year. And there's plenty of years. So everyone's going to probably get in eventually. God. I know. Hey Aaron, do you think it's time for a makeover for Raw and SmackDown's stage set? I mean, both shows have the same exact set. IMO. What does that stand for? I know what it stands for. It was better when both shows had their own unique set. IMO, the SmackDown fist set, was the best one. You like giant fists, don't you? No, I'm kidding. I actually do like that set a lot. I really enjoyed the old school custom designed sets, you know, that were built, not like these just generic screens, HD screens that they use now. Yeah, I'd like to see them go back and they were more creative. When you actually had to build the set and put it together and try to be unique with it. Now it's just all the screens and they just have the graphics or whatnot. Yeah, I liked it the way it was. Maybe they should, you know, have a happy medium. Have the HD sets, but kind of, you know, do more with them and, you know, have some of the old school buildings and, you know, props or whatever, like the cars and the ladders or whatever. Yeah, I'd like to see them go back to something different, like the old days, for sure. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on the late great Yokozuna? Yokozuna, big man. He moved really well for a guy his size. And I think the big problem with him was that his size got out of control. He gained too much weight. WWE asked him to lose the weight and he wasn't able to, and it was just, you know, an unfortunate story with him. But during his run in 93, 94, he was great. He played that monster heel sumo wrestler really well. And, you know, going back to the Hall of Fame, who's going to go in the Hall of Fame? I think he's a good candidate for the Hall of Fame. And considering he's Samoan, you know, he's Samoan, not Japanese, and WWE always has a special place in their hearts for the Samoans, I think there's a good shot Yokozuna will get in. You know, it's that situation where they don't want to induct too many guys that have passed away, you know, all the time. They want to spread it out over several years. So it could be a while, but I do think Yokozuna will get in eventually. Hey Aaron, what are your thoughts on Chris Jericho's comments towards Miz and CM Punk? He stated how Miz is ripping off his character by wearing suits, talking slowly, and using big words, and Punk claims he's the best in the world, like Jericho used to do. Well, here's the thing. I highly doubt that Chris Jericho is being serious when he talks about how he's pissed off at these guys stealing his ideas. Because everything gets stolen. Everything is copied. Everything is borrowed, whatever you want to call it. It happens all the time in wrestling. Look at Ric Flair. He copied Buddy Rogers. Hulk Hogan borrowed his gimmick from superstar Billy Graham and Dusty Rhodes. It happens. That's just the way it is. If Chris Jericho is really mad about that, then he's got a problem. But I don't think he's mad about it. I think he's just, doing the work as usual and just trying to keep his name out there and just, he's putting over those other guys too by mentioning them and talking trash about them. So, that's just the way it is. Would you rather see Undertaker return with his original Dead Man gimmick, or would you like to see a return of the American Badass? Okay, I've been talking about the Undertaker a lot. People have been getting on my case. Stop talking about Undertaker. It's getting old. Stop talking about his streak in WrestleMania 28. I'm just going to say this. I think it would be a bad idea to have him go back to the American Badass gimmick. He should stay as the Dead Man until he retires. That's just my opinion. I think they should leave the American Badass in the past. It's not really going to fit in well with the PG era, so just let him be the Dead Man. That's what people like. That's the Undertaker we've all come to know and love. Just that should be the way it is. It seems as if WWE gave R-Truth a big push during his feud with Cena and quickly gave up on him after his loss to Cena at Capital Punishment. Do you think R-Truth deserves to be a WWE or World Champion one day? Well, it's hard to say because WWE pushed R-Truth, but they only did it for a month. And the other problem was that his push consisted of him getting a fluke countout win over John Cena. If they had given R-Truth some big wins and gave him a chance to get over as a main eventer, then I would be able to judge if he deserves it or not. But he really wasn't tested that much. He was just a guy that was put in a main event slot to fill a pay-per-view with John Cena. It was just a transitional pay-per-view between WrestleMania and SummerSlam. They just needed a guy to face Cena and lose, and R-Truth was that guy. So who knows? I mean, I'm sure R-Truth is a hard worker, and he's been with the company for several years now. He had that run in 2000. He was with TNA for all those years and making a name for himself. So if you're talking about work ethic, yeah, the guy does probably deserve it. But as a draw, he's been untested, and he really hasn't been given the chance. So there you go. All right, let's see what else we have here. Why do people say they don't watch wrestling because it's fake? I mean, aren't most TV shows fake? Unless it's reality-based or a sport, everything on TV is fake. Yeah, everything on TV is fake. People are fake. Wrestling is real. Yeah, anyone that says wrestling is fake is just a douchebag, honestly. I always heard that in high school all the time. Why do you watch wrestling? It's so fake. It's gay. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, just ignore it. Anybody that says that, they're just being an idiot. Whatever. Hey Aaron, why is TNA so bad? I only have a few minutes left to talk. I cannot go 15, 20 minutes talking about this. But back to your question. It seems like no matter what they do, they can't just get people interested in anything they do. I mean, sure, they have like 4 or 5 people who watch every week, but the majority of the human race are smart and realize TNA sucks. Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that the human race is smart, but yeah, enough people do realize that TNA sucks. And the reason is because the people working behind the scenes in TNA were the same people working in WCW when WCW was declining and going out of business. Logic should tell you to hire people that have a successful track record. Don't hire people that helped put a company out of business. But Dixie Carter, for whatever reason, she had to hire Vince Russo. She had to hire all the WCW production team members. And that's why part of the big reason why TNA is in the shape it's in. It's not because of the wrestlers. TNA has an awesome talent pool. It's not that's the problem. It's the way the company's being run. Just that's the way it is. Hey Aaron, what's your favorite WWE Raw match of all time? One that comes to mind is Shelton Benjamin versus Shawn Michaels in 2005. Those two men tore it up and the ending was incredible. I have to say my all-time favorite match on Raw was in early 2000. It was DX and the Radicals against The Rock, Cactus Jack, and Too Cool. That match was one of those magical moments where the in-ring work was just fantastic. It was really a fun match, and the crowd heat, you couldn't ask for a better crowd. I mean, they were so into it, and I just loved it. There wasn't one single second that it was boring. Just awesome, awesome match. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Go back. I'm sure it's on YouTube. Definitely check that one out. Hey Aaron, do you think Bret Hart would have had a longer career if he didn't have a stroke? Of course. If Bret Hart had been healthy, I think he would have come back to the WWE sooner. You know, Kurt Angle was really bidding for a match with Bret Hart around 2003, and, you know, Bret just couldn't do it because of the stroke. But if Bret's health allowed it, I'm sure he would have wanted to come back for WrestleMania and have a match with Kurt Angle. And, you know, maybe this whole thing with him and Vince would have been put to rest many years ago. But, yeah, the stroke just, I think, kept Bret, you know, a little bit shut away and bitter or whatever. And eventually he got over it. But, yeah, it's just a shame because we could have gotten some more great Bret Hart moments, you know, with Chris Jericho and Censored and Kurt Angle and all those guys. Would have been some awesome stuff. All right, that about does it for No DQ&A video here on NoDQ.com. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the show. What are your predictions for Hell in a Cell? Who's going to win the WWE title match? Who's going to win the world title match? Does anyone care? Leave a comment. Go to NoDQforums.com. Discuss wrestling with other fans. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest regarding Hell in a Cell. And with that, we will see you next time for a No DQ&A video. Like how I rock the chair back and forth?
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Whoever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeep's here. Keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
Episode of Boy Rants, and as always, again, screw it, you know the drill. No, I'm just kidding. These rants are Statboy approved. I think we're on episode 37. If not, don't get me on it. Whatever, it's up here on the screen. We're going to talk about Chris Jericho and CM Punk. We're going to continue the comparisons of who is better, the best wrestler in the world, or the best in the world at what he does. See how we worked that one in there? Okay. So, Chris Jericho made his debut with the Y2J Bug in 1999. He then went on to go for 6 years before leaving to go do stuff with Fozzy. You know, he came back in 2007, wrestled through 2010, left again, and came back. This is now the second or third coming of the holier Chris Jericho. So overall, he has been wrestling for 10 years. 12 years total, 10 years active, 2 years doing stuff with Fozzy, Dancing with the Stars, that hideous dropout game show on ABC, which, let's face it, was purely hideous. I mean, come on. What kind of a game show, you know? Oh, we're gonna take all these cool prizes and we're gonna drop them over a 50-story building that you don't win. Although it was fun to see a TV smash into pieces. That was kind of fun. And then I think they even dropped money at one point. CM Punk made his debut in ECW under the control of WWE in 2006. So 10 years active versus 6 years straight. Jericho gets the edge in experience. As far as championships go, Chris Jericho, of course, the first ever undisputed WWF champion, and let's not forget that stat, because every time during some point of his career, he always lets us know that he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock in the same night, December 9th, 1990...
2001.
Thank you, Jeff Meacham. December 9th, 2001, to win both belts. We know that. He held the big gold belt twice. He's been a 9-time IC champion. He's been a 5-time World Tag Team champion, and he's put his name in his tag team twice, I think, or it was Jericho and something else. I don't remember the other one. A 2-time SmackDown World Tag 2-time WWE Tag Team Championship. He held the Euro belt, and he had a hardcore reign as well. 9, 11, 13, 18, 22 accomplishments. Punk has been the ECW champ, 2 or 3 WWE champ, depending on how you want to call the situation with Cena. So it's 2 or 3. Pick and choose. I'm not going to argue that one. A tag team championship, an IC title, and he's won Money in the Bank twice. Jericho gets the edge in the titles. As far as injuries, I couldn't find anything on Chris. He keeps himself in shape, he takes care of himself. The only injury that CM Punk had was a hip injury in 2010, which allowed him to go on commentary, and then he came back and took care of Nexus. Jericho wins that one. He takes care of himself. It's like Not sure if he did any surgery on the hip injury, if he just rested it up, did the commentary, and came back. WrestleMania matches. Jericho has competed in 8 of them. This will be Punk's 6th. At WrestleMania 2000, he was in the triple threat match with Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit. This one kind of, he won a title and lost a title. So you can call it a draw, you can call it a win, you can call it a loss. Call it what you want. I'm totally... Yes, Renegade?
Technically, he didn't lose a title. He just lost a pinfall. Kurt Angle lost both of his championships without being pinned. So Jericho technically didn't lose a belt. He just lost a pinfall.
See, I racked over and over on this one. So call it what you want. He lost he defeated Regal at 17. He lost to Triple H at 18. That was a good big name match. Lost to Shawn in a good match at 19. Lost to Christian at 20. That was a mediocre match. He was in Money in the Bank at 21, but didn't win it. I wanted to call that a draw because he did. But then there's the argument he didn't get Money in the Bank. He participated in the next one at 24. Didn't win that one either. He had the Handicap Legends match against Piper, Dragon, and Snuka. Now, let's face it, those are 3 big names, but the match sucked. I mean, come on. And then he lost to Edge at 26, which was a big name match. Yes, Mr. Jeff Meacham?
He beat Edge at 26 to retain the title.
Did I say lost?
Yes.
I meant defeated, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
I was like, wait a minute.
I apologize, I looked over my notes too quickly.
And the Legends match was craptastic until it got to Ricky Steamboat. When it got to the Steamboat Jericho match, that part was epic.
So, by my personal stuff, I've got it 3-3-2. Again, you can argue this till you're blue in the face. Put them in the comment boxes on how you want to call this. Punk, of course, has participated in 3 back-to-back Money in the Banks. He's won 2 of them. He participated in 23, but didn't win it. And then he lost to Ray and he lost to Orton at 26 and 27. So this will be his 6th straight WrestleMania.
7th. He appeared as one of John Cena's gangsters at 22.
That doesn't count!
He was there.
He was there. It doesn't count. It does not count.
CM Punk made his debut at WrestleMania 22.
Fine, he made his debut,
Edge,
no,
just like Edge made his WrestleMania debut at WrestleMania 15, coming from the ceiling with the Brood to Hane the Boss Man. But he made his match debut at 16 for Edge and 23 for Punk.
Match debut and appearance debut are 2 different things. This is his 6th WrestleMania match.
There you go.
God, you and your technicalities.
You're the stat boy. You should be prepared for these debates.
I don't debate. I just give the stats.
Well, if you're giving stats on how many WrestleManias in a row...
Don't patronize me on my show. I'm in control here. And put a shirt on, Meacham. God, man.
That's it. Bust out my nudity. There you
You're
go.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hotter.
I've got a red, half-naked ginger on. I'll be glad you're not seeing this one. Put that in the comment box. So, stat-wise, Jericho takes the cake. He takes care of it.
And apparently Meacham eats it. Anyway.
With sprinkles and chocolate on top too. He's got to put and let's not forget the coconut shavings and the cream-filled donuts too.
Oh yuck! Oh god, cream-filled gross, dude. No.
Fine strawberry. See, now I'm talking about donuts.
I want donuts now.
Jesus. So anyway, stat-wise, Scott is the better wrestler. But of course, you want to throw the personality factor in there. I'm going with Punk. I think Punk is better because of his pipe bomb capabilities. Did you just put on 3D glasses? God! My show has gone to hell!
It's Death by Rants. It's always crazy.
Anywho.
No, it's not, Mikey. You're in control, right?
Hey, give me the glasses. Heck, why not? Whoa, 3D. Wait a minute. Are these the old Star Tours glasses?
No.
No.
The old Captain EO glasses?
No.
The old
Captain EO glasses.
The new Captain EO glasses.
The new Captain EO glasses. Find them at Disneyland Resort in Tomorrowland from 8 to midnight every day through spring.
And you just showed it on camera as an employee of Disneyland, which means you have it in your house, which means you're in trouble. Something out there.
They're glasses. Whatever.
You're supposed to return them.
Kill them all the time.
You're supposed to return when you're done, Mikey.
Don't steal things, folks. It's bad for you. It's
Especially
right.
from Disneyland.
Anyway.
Even they steal from you all the
We
time.
found them on eBay.
That's it. There you go. I like that.
Whatever. Anyway. I give the personal edge to Punk. I think he's the current Jericho. So of the WWE. In fact, Jericho is perfectly correct in saying that he's a Jericho wannabe or a Jericho carbon copy or whatever. I think he's kind of pushing the envelope with what he did on Raw last week. Quit tuning up the band. I mean, again, it's a family issue. I mean, if Punk's father and sister are actual former addicts or whatever, if that story is true, I don't know. So you can't. If it is,
That boy should have done the research.
I don't want to know if it's true or not. Honestly.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
But I mean, that's stuff like that you should just not call out. It's like when a wrestler's sitting at a table at a restaurant. Leave them alone. Let them. They eat like normal. They are people, you know. They have a stomach. They have to feed it, you know. I mean. And here's another fact. They go to the bathroom like normal people, so leave them alone in there too. And they drive their cars. Don't go bashing their windows while they're coming up to Staples Center and trying to get an autograph while they're trying to park their car. Renegade knows what I'm talking about.
And above all, they're not stocking them in airports.
I think the airports is okay.
At 4 a.m.?
If they're getting on the plane, no. If they're getting off the plane, yes.
Or if they're trying to get to the rental car and get to their hotel and get some sleep.
Do it after sunrise.
There you go. Way outside their rooms like the stalkers you are.
No! If they're sleeping, leave them alone. Just on the flip side, don't act like douches when, you know.
Do not drive 100 miles an hour in Paris roads and run people off the road and get them killed. Like paparazzi do. Go ahead.
What story was that?
Princess Diana, dude!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like it's such an unknown story.
That story's so 10 years ago.
15?
Whatever!
Come on, staff boy!
Thank you, Jade. You said that perfectly. But he already knows that. Anyway, WrestleMania is less than 2 weeks away, almost a week away, or a week and a half, or however many days it is. I will do the Triple H and Taker comparison, and we'll throw in the Hell in a Cell factor as well, because they said they were in 19 Hell in a Cell matches together, so we'll put that as a factor there. Also, which came out on WWE.com, the list of inductors to the inductees is out. Check that out. I'm not going to give you the spoilers. Look it up. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Of course, the WWE and their programming are only going to feature 3 people. Probably Tyson, Edge, and maybe... I doubt if they'll put the Horsemen on there because of the whole Flair TNA thing, which, honestly, I think is stupid. He's Ric Flair, for God's sakes, okay? Who cares what promotion that he's in? He could be NWA Ric Flair, he could be TNA Ric Flair, he could be WCW Ric Flair. The common factor is, he's the nature boy, woo, Ric Flair. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter what company, screw the contracts. In fact, it should be one big wrestling thing. In fact, all the wrestlers should join together in one big thing and forget all these promotions. How about that?
It's a great, big, beautiful world out there. Good. I don't know where that came from, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
Okay.
It's probably the drugs.
Probably. I'm on the drugs yet.
Yeah. We're done with this episode. It's gone beyond the garbage can, into the toilet, and through the landfill. I'll see you all next week. Step way out.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from the Casa D18 Studios.
This is James Morgan, NWA and Mach 1 Wrestling Superstar.
This is Chris Masters, the Masterpiece.
This is Downtown Bruno.
This is Eric Watts from WWE Tough Enough.
Mikey Nova.
Hey, what's up? This your boy, Sean Black.
This is Jess Bella from Santino Brothers.
Gorgeous Joey Chaos.
Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you are watching Dads on Wrestling.
The Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
Dads on Wrestling.
On YouTube.
Week on YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
On YouTube. Now stay tuned or you will feel the bang!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 3 of our SummerSlam retrospective, Dads on Wrestling. I am the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams.
This is episode, I don't know. I'm Jeff Meacham, no longer Mr. That Other Show.
That's right.
That's gone, baby.
We're going to be talking about SummerSlam's 2004 to 2010
so,
this week.
Is that why you're wearing your Randy Orton shirt? Because he was the star of 2004?
He was the star of, like, every one from 04 to 2010. Like, seriously.
Hey, 05 was all about Cena and whoever the hell he wrestled in 05.
Yeah, exactly. You don't even remember.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
It was Cena Jericho, by the way.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wow, I'm bad. That's bad.
You know? Big ups to my little cheat sheet here.
Yay,
the
cheat
official
sheet.
SummerSlam program for 2010. SummerSlam 2004. Now, I went back and I watched this DVD yesterday while you were comatose.
This is true.
And there was not a bad match on this entire card.
There was a bad Diva Dodgeball, yeah.
The only thing that was fail was Diva Dodgeball.
Yes. That was quite
And that
fail.
match in of itself is like a where are they now of divas.
Yeah, not one person in that shot is in the company anymore.
Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Victoria, Nydia, Stacy Keibler, Gail Kim. Well, Gail's still technically with the company, but you know, that's only because they're strong-arming her.
Well, we talked about that at Renegade, or you did, yeah.
Yeah. Freaking Joy Giovanni, Michelle McCool, who's busy popping out Undertaker babies, or at least she's trying to. Freaking Christy Hemme, Maria. Like I said, that whole freaking match is a where are they now of divas. And Jazz.
Well, yeah.
Big ups to Jazz.
Well, yeah, but so is half the main event. That's the bad part.
Yeah, that's
the main
true,
event,
too.
because we don't know where he is, to be honest with you.
You talking about JBL and Undertaker?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Because you forget, Chris Benoit is a name we can actually say on this show.
That's right, we can, but I'm just saying, we don't know where he is.
That's a touchy subject. We'll leave that one alone.
That's bad.
But Randy Orton, Chris Benoit.
Our guest cameraman's going down.
Chris Benoit, Randy Orton obviously stole the show. The Curtain Jerker, the Dudleys against London Mysterio and Kidman.
All three done.
Was an awesome matchup. And I realized something yesterday. That's Paul London likes to team with people whose initials are BK. Because he had the straps with Kidman and he had the straps with Kendrick.
There you go. That's right.
Cena Booker, dude, back when John Cena was still Word Life and Thugonomics in it.
Eddie and Angle in the rematch from WrestleMania.
But I wanted to point out, John Cena won the match without the 5 moves of doom.
He did.
The FU came out of nowhere.
And it was called the FU back then.
Yeah. Eddie Angle,
I'm just
again, like you said. Eddie Angle, like you said. And even Triple H Eugene. There was a little controversy in the house about Eugene being special and was that right? You know what? At the end of the day, it was a clear thing of don't judge me because of my disability.
Exactly. I still don't like the gimmick, but whatever.
2005.
It was all about what it was all about, but let's talk about the undercard first.
It was all about Benoit and OJ and the 25-second match.
Yeah, that's it.
That match was that pay-per-view, baby. But in all seriousness, you had the Edge Matt Hardy match.
Yep.
Which was, you know, pretty much the start of their big feud.
And it was stopped due to blood loss. Seriously?
Yeah.
When you have stuff like Foley and Flair the next year.
And as personal as that match was, it's like if there wasn't bloodshed, we were gypped.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but then again, we're the same ones that sat here a few weeks ago saying that Bret Owen in the cage with no blood
was awesome. Yeah,
you know, so.
But then again, Bret Owen was personal, but you didn't want to see two brothers blood at each other also.
This is true. The ladder match for the custody of Dominic, Bray and Eddie.
The last appearance at SummerSlam of Eddie Guerrero. Point that out.
Horrible angle, but an awesome match.
Yep. The match that led our usual cameraman to stop watching wrestling.
Yes, the angle.
The angle, yeah.
Stop watching wrestling.
Yeah, the match itself was what it was, but the angle itself caused Aaron to walk away.
Exactly.
Damn.
Cena Jericho. Again,
WWE Championship.
A really good Cena match, but by now he had started to go into his 5 moves of doom phase.
Right. And as Jericho said in his book, the last time he, Benoit, Eddie, and Dean were together.
There you go.
That's pretty heart-wrenching right there.
And then the main event, brother.
I'm about to walk away from my own favorite. That's how bad it was. Because Michaels had to carry Hogan to what was one of Hogan's greatest matches. No doubt about that.
True. Now, in all fairness, the lead up to the match
was epic.
Thank you. It was what a good storyline build should be.
But
especially the Larry Bean show, like that was comedy.
It was awesome. But at the end of the day, on the match. And then he had 06 where he wrestled Orton.
Yeah, and he should have jobbed to Randy.
Especially with the bad knee.
You know,
the
only time the ECW... Oh, no, I take that back. I was going to say the
first time ECW
title was on the line, Big Show and Sabu.
And what was a pretty brutal Extreme Rules match.
That's right. Flair Foley, as you already touched on.
Which was brutal, and the fact that Flair was going to take Molina's head off with the barbed wire, but that shit was nuts.
Batista over King Booker.
by disqualification.
Yes.
So Booker retained the title again. You had Cena and Edge for the WWE Championship. Edge retained the title.
Yes.
And introduced the Reign of our Spinner the next night.
Yes. And a couple of the guest camera women's baby daddies, D-Generation X against the McMahons.
Yes.
She's raising the roof over there.
And was Morrison involved in that one, just so we can get Sharifa completely involved in this?
No.
No, damn it. Fucking SummerSlam.
No. But he was one of the main events the next year in 07
That's
when
right.
he defended the title against the straight edge Messiah, CM Punk.
And retained.
Yes.
Because Punk didn't win the title until September 1st, I believe.
Yes.
So there you go. Morrison was on his big kick in ECW then at the time. He was just becoming John Morrison at the time, really. So you had that. You had Cena Orton the first time, I believe, for the WWE Championship. You had...
Mr. Khali.
Yeah.
Anyway. Triple H and King Booker.
The return of Triple H.
There you go.
From injury earlier in the year with another torn quad.
Yeah.
It's like the McMahons and torn quad, seriously. Triple H is torn in both, McMahon's torn, Vince is torn in both.
Vince torn both at the same time.
In the span of 2 minutes.
The 2006-2007 SummerSlams were kind of failed to me.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I own 04, 05, and 06, and when I went back to watch yesterday, I watched 04, but I didn't even watch 05 and 06. I looked at the card on the back, and I'm like, is this worth 3 hours of my time right now?
I watched 06 on the computer during one of my insomnia kicks, and I was like...
See, 2006 put Jeff to sleep. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 2006, I fell asleep during, I believe it was the DX match.
He was ready for sleep.
I was, dude. Are you
2008. 2008 brought us such great matches as The Big Show and Bam Neely. That's right. Mark Henry and Matt Hardy.
For the ECW title?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
CM Punk successfully defending his title against JBL.
The World Championship, right. Very good. During his face run as World Champion.
Yes.
Yes. Damn helicopters. We purposely try to avoid noise today after the last 2 weeks of X Games setup.
They know that there's going to be hell in these streets in a couple of days.
A couple of days, baby. SummerSlam Access will be all over Portugal around here.
The interesting match to me on this one wasn't even Taker Edge, which we'll get into in a second. It was the Glamourella Kofi Mickey match where both titles were on the line and both belts changed hands.
That's right.
That was an interesting little twist to what could have been a very boring feud.
Definitely. Let's face it, do you really want to see Kofi and Mickey team up for the sake of taking down Glamourella?
No. But Glamourella was hot. They got the belts. They deserved the belts.
Yes.
At least Beth deserved the belt. Santino got it just as, he's with Beth, so he gets the belt.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, they deserved that push.
But his second run as champion was kind of funny because he was going for the honkometer.
Yes, that was epic.
That was good.
The honky-tonky meter.
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell Taker Edge.
How can you not talk about that at 2008 SummerSlam? And it was the last SummerSlam to not be.
And the picture in the program is even from the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
I mean, like that right there shows.
Exactly. Then you had 09, the SummerSlam tank in the picture.
The debut of SummerSlam here at Staples Center,
yes, sir.
which I was not at.
No, but we were at your house watching live on pay-per-view.
That's right.
Watching your daughter and fiance make their pay-per-view debut.
That's right, baby. Now the match for a title should have changed hands. Rey Mysterio, Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
And Dolph actually told me at Access last year that he was supposed to get the belt, and Rey said no.
So that shows how much that Mexican deserves to be smacked down anyway.
There you go.
Stupid little midget.
Kind of glad he injured himself again.
Yeah.
Give him his freaking match in San Diego, beat the piss out of him, and send him back to his home.
Let's hope Punk is the winner and makes his career go to sleep.
There you go.
You know?
Hey, Vince won't even have to pay for an airplane ticket to send Rey home. He'll just be able to drive down the block.
Well, not drive because he'll have one less knee. So maybe his wife.
I'm sure his wife will be there.
His wife can drive.
Maybe Dominic can drive him. MVP Jack Swagger. Another good, underrated match.
It's alright.
Jericho Crime Time.
That was horrid.
I don't know. I mean, I was sitting there watching the match back yesterday, and I'm like, now why didn't Crime Time get the tag straps? I can understand why they didn't get them that night.
Right.
But, rumor going around the net is Triple H is going to try and reinvigorate the tag division, and here was
a solid tag team against a couple of dudes that were more or less thrown together.
But they were the tag team of the year that year also.
Kane Khali, I skipped.
Right. Yeah.
No point in watching that. DX Legacy. Epicness.
And the freaking entrance itself was freaking epic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, freaking match that should have been better. Regal, Christian.
Like less than 10 seconds, I believe, from bell to bell. That's fail. And then the Royal Round Table beat the crap out of him and walked away. Christian was left in a heap.
Yeah. And then they cut to my fiance and daughter.
Right,
so
yeah,
that kind of made up for it.
Right, there you go.
But that match right there could have been match of the night.
It
And I think WWE knew that, and they didn't want ECW to show up the WWE Championship or the World title.
And granted, both those matches were pretty darn good, considering who was in. Cena and Orton was really good, I thought.
And this program is actually a botch, because they don't list Cena Orton here in the description. It's not like his name is Chris Benoit. Why are they eliminating him?
And then the world title match between CM Punk and Jeff Hardy, when Jeff Hardy was still somewhat coherent.
Thank you. Now, the thing that I find funny about all this is, like, CM Punk turned heel. Why? To bring what Jeff Hardy did recreationally to life. And then Jeff Hardy goes to TNA. Well, he leaves the company, gets busted for drugs, goes to TNA, gets told to job to Steen in like 5 seconds because he's too incapacitated to wrestle. And he just kind of proved everything that CM Punk said was right. So how in the heck did that make him heel?
Exactly. And why is Punk heel now?
The truth shall set you free.
And then you have, of course,
2010.
Last year's SummerSlam.
Got to turn back to the beginning.
You know what? Your program's not going to help you because half the program got altered throughout the night.
I know, right? The greatest match that didn't happen. Let me hold this up here. 6-pack challenge for the IC title. Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Kofi, Christian, Matt, and Cody Rhodes.
Turned into...
Why did that match not happen? You want to know why it didn't happen? It would have stolen the fucking show.
Yeah, because the IC was the curtain jerker.
Instead, they made it freaking Dolph Kofi.
With the Nexus running in.
Yeah, and completely stopping what was an epic match.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, then you had Big Show Straight Edge Society.
Right.
Which Big Show should have jobbed.
And he didn't.
You had Melina versus Alicia Fox.
The right girl won that match, at least.
Yeah. Miss FCW released its favorite match of all time.
Ariane, I love it. Oh, God. Legal didn't even wrestle. They didn't even wrestle. They ended up coming out after Melina's match and beating her down.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Orton and Sheamus. Whatever.
Kane and Mysterio, the return of The Undertaker again.
For the second year in a row.
Yep.
After the world title
But Kane beat him down.
Yes. And then the 7-on-7 elimination match that still features Khali in the program. And then it was supposed to be The Miz, which I was a little bit bummed it wasn't, until the music hit.
I think there wasn't one music. He just ran down the aisle.
They introduced him and he had music.
But it wasn't Kill the Wabbit.
No, it wasn't Kill the Wabbit. It was his original.
And they changed his music, by the way. That's fail.
And they introduced the second best wrestler in the world today, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
We're getting the wrap up.
We're getting the wrap up. I think we did a pretty solid cover.
Tune in a couple days
for the prediction show for this year's SummerSlam,
featuring the return of the Lady Killer, Ray Larkin.
You already knew that. We'll see you then.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Welcome, NoDQ Galaxy, and we're back on track with the NoDQ review number 37, and I am Virtue here with Aaron Rift, TJS, and Big G. What's up, gentlemen? How's it going today? We are after SmackDown 1000, which Big G went to, so I will start with you. How's it going? Don't talk too much about it yet, but did you have fun?
I'm doing good, Virtue. Nice fall weather here, and I am doing excellent. And when we get ready to, I'll start off about SmackDown 1000.
Did you have fun?
I did. Yes, I did.
Good. TJS?
It's I wish Arkansas had a fall, but we go straight from summer to winter. It went from the 90s to 55, like the weather saw a state trooper. It's crazy. It's freezing here, and it's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow. So should be a good discussion here. Aaron, how's the Portland weather?
It's been great. It's in the 70s right now. It was hot in Los Angeles, and it's very nice here in Portland. So I'm looking forward to the next week or so. It's supposed to stay warm. But yeah, lots of topics to cover today. We have SmackDown 1000. We have Crown Jewel, which is taking place somewhere in the world. I'm not sure where because WWE did not say anything. I know Virtue has all the topics, so Virtue, you want to go ahead and get us started today?
Yeah, and first of all, I see Michael Myers creepily looking at me, so I'm a little weirded out because the Halloween movie's coming out this week. And,
yes, it is. I'm going to be checking that out.
I am too. My dad and I have seen every one at the theater since maybe 4 that I can remember. 4? Yeah, I think it was 4. We've seen every one at the theater.
Nice. I also have a Freddy Krueger life-size mannequin outside my apartment on the balcony. I'm going to be posting a picture of that very soon until the apartment complex tells me I have to get rid of it. I just have it out there scaring people.
Andrew, well, that's what. But you should. That's Halloween.
Yeah.
Do you have a Freddy glove, Aaron?
Yeah, he has a glove. You'll see the picture soon.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Halloween, though, it is October, and it seems like we don't get too many creepy things in wrestling these days. I mean, Undertaker and Kane have been cited in the Boiler Room.
Yep.
Let's start with SmackDown 1000. So, Big G, you were there. I'm going to start with you. So, a couple of the bullet points that I want your thoughts on, plus whatever else.
Okay.
I enjoyed Edge's promo with Becky. None of this stuff necessarily is perfect because they're coming. You got to remember, the part-timers and the legends are coming in, and they don't do this all the time anymore. So they're probably learning what they're going to say the day of. But I did enjoy that spot. It kind of made Becky make fun of it. Not make fun of Edge, but, Edge had his, like Vince Russo said today. I think it was Vince Russo had his hand on his Johnson when the interview was over. Becky put him in his place. You know what I mean? Like, Edge did not look strong there, but I don't think he had to. I think it was about Becky. I enjoyed that. The Evolution, like, what's weird about it to me is you have Shawn and Triple H with DX for this Crown Jewel show, but then SmackDown 1000, let's just have Evolution together, and like Orton did his thing where he kind of ripped the other guys. Flair was just kind of there. He was just happy to be there, right? Flair just happy to be there, happy to be breathing. I'm glad he got over his medical issues a year ago. We still get to see the Nature Boy walk that aisle. That's awesome. Triple H and Batista had a little interesting glare. So, Big G, what are your thoughts on those two topics to start off with?
Well, I enjoyed those two. I think I enjoyed the Evolution promo a little bit more. Batista got his big pop when he came out. Actually, all of Evolution did. I enjoyed the line where Batista told Ric Flair to keep it in his pants. Space Mountain, I like the stare down between Triple H and Batista. Teased it a little bit, and then they hugged afterwards. Randy Orton, he's a heel now, so he had to cut a little bit of a heelish kind of thing on his guys. Triple H did good too. Cutting Edge, I like too. Edge came out. Tony Timmel did his thing with the whole Rated R Superstar thing, which was awesome.
Question: was he actually there? Or was that overdubbed?
No, he was there. He was in the where the ring announcer, not the ring announcer, but where the time bell is, where the ring bell. He was like right there. He was right there in the corner.
Because they didn't show him. I was like,
yeah, he was there. Trust me.
Who's that? Tony Chimmel?
Yeah, Tony Chimmel, the Rated R Superstar. It was a good promo. Edge did good. Becky did good. Then they had Charlotte came out, had their pull apart brawl again. Like, we haven't seen that a million times. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed, I'm glad the Bar finally won the SmackDown titles. Big Show turned heel for the millionth time.
1000th time, right? For SmackDown 1000.
Yeah, 1000th time. Pancake table, I think, is a foam table because when they lifted it up, it didn't even look like it was heavy. They just went boop and they put it right next to the other announce table.
Who was sitting there at that table? The King and Booker T?
Yeah, King and Booker T, yep. So that was kind of cool. I mean, they both did commentary for SmackDown at one point in their careers. The crowd was pretty loud there. I mean, where I was sitting, there was still some empty seats, but on the camera side where they actually show everybody in there, that was pretty full. So
no big tarp sections, huh?
No, nothing was tarped off. They still had seats open, though. Like I said, SmackDown Live didn't sell out like they said they did. So
wait, is there a helicopter coming in here? Was that me?
That was Sting.
Was that the I thought that was Evolution's chopper.
No, like the Panama City Nitro, Sting came in on the helicopter. That was what that was.
Well, Evolution used to have a chopper sound, didn't they? Yeah.
In their movie, in their entrance, Tron.
Sure. But yeah,
I see that shirt you got, man.
Evolution is a mystery. So,
main event.
TJS, your thoughts on SmackDown 1000?
Oh boy. Well, I don't understand why Evolution was there. It still wasn't explained. They just came out there and like, hey, we're Evolution. This is Batista's hometown. We needed star power, so that's why we're here. Like it just felt like filler to me. Sure, I love seeing Batista. in his hometown. He looked very happy. I loved seeing Ric Flair, but it didn't make sense with Randy Orton just. He wasn't happy to be there. He was just like, "Hey, I'm better than you guys."
Well,
And
yeah.
it felt like an old band getting back together when they just don't have it anymore. Even though they all have it as a group, or not as a group, but individually, except Ric Flair. I don't think he can go anymore.
Somebody should have got heat and took down Flair, even if it was just like a one little hit.
Yeah, I
Because
don't think he's taking bumps.
No. Time out. Aaron Rift. I'm not saying get a Batista bomb or an RKO or a pedigree, but like a little hit to the face where he could just kind of fall down.
You know, at his
he
age,
could handle
when he
that.
falls down, it's hard for him to get up.
He could do it.
One time, Paul, had you break a hip at Ric Flair's age?
If he took a punch to the face, he would have had to blade.
Yeah.
He would have punched him once, and then he comes up with the Crimson Mask.
That's what he lives for, man. But it's just, go ahead, TJS. I just felt you're right. They did it very cookie cutter. Hey, here's evolution. Let's just make a couple verbal jabs. End of segment.
And people are like, oh, well, they set up Batista versus Triple H. Well, no, they didn't, because Ric Flair was just like, calm down, and that was it.
It's called
that
a
was the end of it.
tease, TJS.
But do you think we're gonna? If this happens,
It's a little bit of foreplay, TJS.
It's just gonna be announced on social media if this happens. You know that.
You're such a party pooper, man.
Well, okay. Then
I mean, granted, you were correct about The Rock's tweet being shown. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Truth TV and how bad those dance breaks are. Except, I didn't mind seeing Carmella dance around. That was nice.
So wait a minute. You don't like the dance breaks, but you don't mind seeing Carmella dance. Wait, what?
I didn't want
Time out. Time out. Time for a dance break.
Oh my god.
All right, back to the show.
I don't know. I thought it was I didn't think that their show didn't feel like a big deal to me. I guess that's the best way to put it. We had The Rock just do the tweet where he was like, "Oh, guys, SmackDown 1000," and John Cena couldn't even be there. John Cena used to be on SmackDown weekly, and it felt like the B show to me. Everything felt rushed, like you guys have said. And like Aaron said, I think this show, if any episode, should have just been 3 hours. So that way, everything wouldn't just feel like it was like, okay. AJ Styles didn't even get a full entrance. So, and Rusev and Miz got no entrance. They got the jobber entrance. So, and that was supposed to be a World Cup qualifier. They're billing this tournament to be so prestigious, but the guys in it can't get entrances? Come on.
Right.
Aaron.
Well, Ray returned.
Yeah, Ray returned, and he's in the World Cup, and it's funny.
I did enjoy that too. I enjoyed Ray
The
Mysterio.
World Cup doesn't have anybody outside of the United States. I mean, Rey Mysterio was born in San Diego, so technically everybody in the World Cup match is American.
It's the U.S. Cup.
Yeah, pretty much it's the U.S. Cup. I think Rusev even made a mention of it on his Twitter feed today.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys all had some great points. SmackDown was good, but definitely could have been a lot better. And I'm not a big fan of the 3-hour shows, but I think this was one week where you could have justified making it a 3-hour show. I still think SmackDown, it's the B show. It's going to be that way until next year on Fox. And then maybe we'll see some sort of change where SmackDown becomes the A show. You know, SmackDown will be taken more seriously if Roman Reigns goes over there next spring for the Superstar Shake-Up.
Do you guys think that, with The Rock being such a big Hollywood star, and it's just really, I mean, you can't even guarantee him for Mania, right? Do you think that we see The Rock on the first episode on Fox?
Ooh.
That that would be intriguing.
I think The Rock and his situation, Saudi Arabia might be an influence on The Rock not coming back to WWE, maybe not being part of SmackDown 1000 because it's bad publicity for him. I mean, WWE, we're going to talk about this here in a minute. WWE is most likely going to go through with the show. But if you're The Rock, do you really want to be associated with that negative press right now when he's doing his thing? So that could be a reason. A year from now, maybe things will change, but who knows?
But Aaron, he's The Rock. It doesn't. He's in like every movie, and I don't think bad publicity would hurt The Rock because I mean he was the highest paid actor.
Yeah, but he doesn't need WWE.
No, he doesn't.
And that's the big issue there. That's why it'd be hard. And he probably demands quite. I mean, it would literally have to be him wanting to be there for the fans, because I mean, I'm sure they could throw all kinds of money at him for an appearance, but I think to The Rock, he has to want to be there.
He stayed away for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the McMahon's dance though to begin the show. I didn't think I'd see Vince back on TV in a while, because someone said last time he was on TV, he went back and saw himself and saw how old he looked and said, "I'm not going on TV for a while." Really? But yet, that's a rumor, so it probably never happened. And
he was on Raw 25 and took a stunner from Austin.
That was probably the time where I heard a rumor where he said, "I looked to him. I'm not going back out there." I mean, he does. He's aged. You see it, but I think it's because he doesn't sleep, because he constantly works or thinks about work. So Vince McMahon's going to be 110 years old before he passes away. I know it. I just see it. He's going to be one of those.
I thought
all right, let's talk about Crown Jewel, though, and Vince McMahon and the WWE. Seemingly, they didn't really mention Saudi Arabia, but they're pushing this Crown Jewel event. So in recent news, a journalist, this happened in Turkey, went missing, and he's presumed that he was murdered. And there again, this is where it feels like a movie, like one of those spy movies.
Right.
It's pointing to Saudi officials that are in the inner circle of the prince. For whatever reasons, we don't know. I mean, this is just weird stuff that this is like, I don't know if it's terror. It's ridiculous. But it's so early yet. There's not all the facts and answers out there. And WWE has a show, Crown Jewel, in Saudi Arabia. And a lot of people are telling them, well, the Saudis are bad people. They've done something wrong here. You should not go to that country. I think this is one of these situations where I could see them pull back, right? But what are they going to do? Cancel the event? Do it over here? You know what I mean? It's a business. Wrestling's always about promotion, right? Now I know card's subject to change, but I mean, is there a ban from anybody in the United States going to Saudi Arabia right now? Is there high terror alert? Is there anything like that? No, right? So I think, we've always complained about the women not being able to compete over there. So this is just another more sprinkles on the sundae for the people that say WWE shouldn't be in Saudi Arabia anyway, but they're making a lot of money. I believe, go ahead, give us the thumbs down, give me the heat. They should go through with this show. But as more news develops on exactly what happened and who's responsible, if it is all tied to Saudi Arabia 100%, which obviously is not going to happen by the time Crown Jewel happens, then for the future deals, sorry, WWE, even if it means your stock goes down to 60 because you're going to lose money, you do have to stop doing business with that country. But it's a wait. You got to wait. So what's everybody's take? I think they need to do Crown Jewel, wait 4 more, could be, stop doing deals, wrestling shows over there. Aaron Rift?
Man, you were talking really fast there for a second. I don't really want to talk about the politics involved with this. I mean, there's possible dismemberment involved, and it's just a really terrible situation. It's bad for WWE. I can understand them trying to let the heat die down and not mention Saudi Arabia on television. I think under most moral circumstances, we would all say WWE should probably not do the show. Maybe they shouldn't have even gotten involved with Saudi Arabia in the first place. But I've learned to get numb about WWE, and I've been that way for a long time. They've done a lot of questionable things and made a lot of questionable decisions over the years. So I am pretty much numb to all of it at this point. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're a business first. Every decision is motivated by money, and that's just the way it is. And you either watch or you don't watch, and I'm covering it. It's my job, and there are aspects of WWE I enjoy, but there's also a lot that I don't enjoy, and it's a screwed up business. What else can I say? It's just another controversy in the storied history of WWE. What else can be said about it? But I'm sure you guys have something else you might want to add. So TJS, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit the nail on the head, and I agree with Virtue. I think that they should do the show and wait until there's evidence of Saudi Arabia being, guilty of this instead of just jumping to the conclusions. I know that Saudi Arabia is controversial and everything, but it's a 10-year deal, and there's so much money involved in this. I don't see WWE pulling out, even if Saudi Arabia becomes guilty or is revealed as guilty of this, just because the stock price is just through the roof. And it's like you said, Aaron, they're a business first. And I'm sure that the superstars, they say they don't want to go over there, but I'm sure they have no problem cashing those big checks.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, you had people complaining like, oh, women can't wrestle over there. They shouldn't go over there. But I guarantee you the superstars that say that are the same ones that are cashing the big checks. Like I said, they don't have a problem taking the blood money, but they don't want to admit that they don't mind it. They just they put on a front.
And I would think that for all the females that can't go over there and compete, they're still getting paid, right?
Yeah.
To be fair, they're probably getting paid to not go over there.
Yeah, I think so. And I feel like if they postpone this whole Crown Jewel event, move the matches or whatever, I don't think we're going to get the Shawn Michaels come out of retirement thing, because he's in it for the big bucks, and I don't know. It's interesting. Big G.
I'm going to disagree with you and Virtue. Ooh. I think they should pull out of Saudi Arabia. They need to know all the facts and everything first, but you got to worry about your superstars. What if something went down there and happened?
Like I said, Big G, is there a terrorist alert?
It's Saudi. No, it's not. But it's Saudi Arabia. Something could happen.
Well, here's the thing: Saudi Arabia. The last thing they want right now is some more controversy on top of everything else. So they're most likely going to treat WWE extra special on this trip and go all out to accommodate them and say, "Hey, look, we're having a great relationship with WWE."
In a matter of seconds, they could just find a venue here in the States and have Crown Jewel, and then
with a lot less money.
And the women still won't wrestle, but they'll still get their everybody will still get their big paydays. But I think you got to worry about your superstars, and if you have some random person just say, "Hey, we put a bomb here," that there is a threat.
Well, if it did happen over here, they would not get the same money, because going over there, that Saudi Arabia controls oil for the whole world, right? For the most part, and $50 million to them is like $100,000 over here. Okay. That's why WWE has not just pulled back; they're just laying low, like Aaron said.
Right.
Mentioned Crown Jewel, didn't mention Saudi Arabia. This is the thing is with private enterprise business versus government. WWE is still allowed to do business with them. Now, if there was a terror ban or something like that, where you can't travel to certain countries, like they're not going to do a show in Iran, but Saudi Arabia is supposed to be this growing country that's supposed to become diverse. They still have problems. Everybody knows that. So WWE, I don't think they want to abandon that.
And the cities over there, they're beautiful. Of course, there are like the bad parts. That's just like the U.S. and everywhere else.
Yeah,
there's the bad parts, but I don't think that the superstars would be in danger, because for the greatest Royal Rumble, they treated them like kings. Yep. Did you see that big dinner that they had with?
Yeah, but Chris Jericho actually recently did an interview where he complained about the experience, and he said WWE would have to pay him triple the amount of money to go back to Saudi Arabia.
Interesting.
I think Jericho's getting ready to wrap up with WWE.
I think Jericho's just being Chris Jericho,
unless
and
this
he wants
is a swerve and he's actually going to show up there.
No, but he's just saying that Jericho's brilliant. Everybody knows my take on Jericho. So, Big G, any other things? You were totally against this.
Where
would you do it? Where would you do it over here?
Somewhere big. I don't know. If they do it on a Friday like they were going to, I don't know, some big venue somewhere.
I don't think they draw over here. That's the thing. So. Like I said, I just, I respect your opinion. I just think unless there's like a ban of traveling there, terrorism or whatever, they have to go through with at least this show. Yeah. And then, of course, long term with their deal, could that be affected if this comes out that Saudi Arabia's actual officials did this, and it wasn't just like tyrants or people that said they were with the prince's inner circle but really weren't. There's so much information that needs to break out of all of this.
Yeah, I mean, Trump would need to tell them to not go, I think, for that to actually
I don't think he's going to.
be realistic. Yeah, I don't think so either. But yeah, like Virtue said, maybe down the line things could change if more comes out about Saudi Arabia and there's even more controversy in the coming weeks and months. Who knows?
Well, it adds more tension. That's good for WWE because now people are going to wonder, are they going to do it? Is it going to happen? What's going on?
Yeah, and this it showed up on the John Oliver show. So I mean, this is getting a lot of mainstream attention, which I don't think WWE wants that. But well, maybe they do. Maybe they do because controversy creates cash.
They have a soccer team in Saudi Arabia, right? Do they have sports teams that compete like in World Cups and stuff like that? They have these stadiums. They have these stadiums.
I know they don't. I know they don't compete in the World Cup though for soccer. I know that for sure.
Maybe they want to one day. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on to Kevin Owens because it wasn't so long ago that he said I quit.
Right.
And then a week later he came back and we're kind of like, well, that just ruined the whole I quit thing. And he got into a program with Lashley and everything that Strowman, and it turns out he's legit hurt. Right, Aaron? Is this a kayfabe or is this legit? Multiple surgeries. He's going to be out a while. Why didn't they just say I quit and then he was gone from television to get these injuries healed? I don't think they happened from that moment to.
No.
I think he's probably had them.
Yeah, this is something that's been nagging for a while. So yeah, you're exactly right.
It could have made that I quit so much better because you knew he was going to get fixed, and then it could just have built and built and built. Look what happened with Ambrose when he came back. Different look. Yep. Different edge. So, TJS, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think they did it wrong? Should Owens have just quit when he said I quit to go get healed?
Yes, absolutely. I think that the only reason that he came back was to work Super Showdown because he was advertised, but card is subject to change, and I mean they lost that match, and in a decisive way. So it's not like they really needed Owens. They could have replaced him with anyone. I mean, he's been replaced in the Mixed Match Challenge with Bobby Roode. So, I mean, of course you couldn't pair Bobby Roode and Elias up because Bobby Roode's not heel and he's with Gable right now, but you could have replaced him with any generic heel on Raw and it would have been fine. I don't know. I feel like, do you guys think that the double turn still would have happened if Owens didn't come back? Do you think Lashley would have still turned heel?
Good point, because apparently the word is that the Bobby Lashley turn was finalized the day of the show, which tells me that was not a plan that WWE had, that they just came up with something last minute. They're like, hey, we need a heel to replace Kevin Owens since he's going to be gone, so let's make Lashley heel. But I think a lot of people for a while have been saying, I mean, it's been obvious to all of us, watching this video and all of us doing the video, that Lashley needed the heel turn badly. But apparently WWE just decided the day of that Raw to go through with it.
I'm okay with Owens, his credibility being killed if it means Lashley being heel, because Owens can bounce right back. He's over with the fans, and when he returns, he's going to get that big pop. He's going to be right back on the horse, I hope. Big G.
Yeah, they should have done that when he said I quit. But like you said, he had to work Super Showdown because he was advertised. I think this might be a blessing in disguise, He'll be out, 8 to 9 months because he had both knees done. Have Sami Zayn just on the sideline still, and then when Owens is ready to come back, have them both come out as baby faces. They'll get the big pops, stick them in the tag team division. They could be a good tag team. Kevin Owens, I mean, look at Ambrose. He came back bigger. I'm thinking maybe Kevin Owens could lose a little bit of weight. He's still agile, but I think he could drop a few pounds.
He's like a cannonball, though. I think that's his gimmick, man. If he looked any trimmer and leaner, I don't think it'd be the same Kevin Owens. I think as long as his cardio is great, and it is.
It is.
his whole thing is that he's not the traditional WWE superstar.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. But
yeah, but he's also
that's
got
what
to
I
look out
think,
for
though.
his health. You know, he was slimmer back in PWG when I saw him. He was actually not that heavy, a little heavy, but not too bad. So I think he could definitely benefit from losing a few pounds. And yeah, Big G, I agree with you 100%. I think him and Sami Zayn come back as a babyface tag team together, maybe around WrestleMania, and just go from there and let them do their thing as babyfaces. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate because he was one of the better performers in the company, and I'll definitely be missing him.
Everybody knows in WWE they have the most vigorous schedule of all of wrestling promotions, and they have to do the most, right? So sometimes, we've talked about this before, injuries are a blessing in disguise because it gives them that rest.
Right.
It lets them get surgeries, heal up, come back fresher and better, hopefully. So to be continued with Kevin Owens.
And they're not as burnt out either. It gives them, like you said, time to rest.
Yep, he'll get to be with his family for a while, so that's good.
We're gonna change topics briefly here from WWE to Aaron's favorite, Impact Wrestling. I don't want to really talk too much about their big pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory. It's funny, like a decade ago, I always thought like Slammiversary was the big show, but
me too.
Now it's like Bound for Glory, like who knows? But nonetheless, the first thing I want to bring up, Aaron Riff. Remember we talked about is Chris Jericho going to show up for Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
Of course he didn't. Right, you were right. But we did get James Ellsworth. So, quick thoughts on James Ellsworth and Impact Wrestling. Is he going to keep Indy hopping like this? Big G, I'll start with you.
I don't think he is because he was on a video on YouTube yesterday after SmackDown 1000 saying why he wasn't on SmackDown 1000. So I think it was just a one-time deal. They posted the clip, I think, on their YouTube on Impact with James Ellsworth coming and Eli Drake beat him up, and that was it. I thought it was just a complete joke.
Okay. Well, what do you think if Ellsworth ever did come back to WWE in a regular capacity, that he went to NXT?
Keep him in NXT, yeah, I'd be fine with that,
Tell me what you guys think about this. This is a little bit of fantasy booking. What if you bring in James Ellsworth, and then you have like an older wrestler, take him under his wing, train him a little bit. You have Ellsworth slowly get better in the ring over time to where he's not a jobber anymore. Because we know he can actually wrestle. He actually wrestles on the indies. And you get away from the whole goofy gimmick and then you put him on 205 Live or something. How about that? I mean, that would draw numbers, you think?
I don't think people will ever see James Ellsworth as anything other than a complete goofball comedy act.
Well, I think he's going to be Impact World.
That's why I wanted to sprinkle him into NXT. It needs a little bit of comedy goof down there in NXT. It doesn't always have to be so serious about wrestling.
Yeah, it
does. USA Network, NXT, 800,000 viewers. Case closed. But I'm, like I said, Aaron, are you guilty of it like I am? I really only watch NXT around the TakeOver events. I binge watch it, catch up, and I watch TakeOver. Big G's religious with NXT.
I am. NXT all the way, baby.
Me too.
What about you? You too?
I watch it weekly, yeah.
Okay, so we got two of us that only watch it when necessary and two religiously. Aaron, if you watch NXT all the time, do you think that you wouldn't like it as much? I think I wouldn't.
I agree with you on that, too. There's only so much wrestling I can take, and I am a creature of habit. I like watching Raw and SmackDown because it's what I'm used to doing. For decades now, that has been my time to watch wrestling. Monday night, Tuesday night, whatever. That's when I watch wrestling, and then I watch the pay-per-view. It has been a ritual, and I think that's the case for a lot of fans. And I'm busy with the site. I'm doing all these different things, and I try to balance my own personal life with following WWE and all that stuff. Yeah. And I don't even have the willpower to watch Impact anymore, but that's more the fact that they just come off very Bush League.
Well, we do have the NoDQ Galaxy does have still some TNA soldiers there. I mean, there are. We know that, right?
There's
whether that's a troll or not, well, probably a couple hundred, but
I will say this though, I don't watch NXT on exactly on Wednesday nights. I usually watch it like a day or two after.
Yeah, it's
But-
bad. I still haven't watched that triple threat match, Big G.
What triple threat match?
The one where
Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and
I
who was
definitely
Adam Cole.
recommend watch that.
Hey, you know, I just said the triple threat match, and you weren't even sure what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Just
And then you
saying.
brought it up.
Aaron, and we take the WWE Network for granted. We know it's always going to be there. So if we don't get to ever see it, but one day we want to watch it, we know it's there, right? So
You can they even have the episodes. You can go back when Seth Rollins started down in NXT. Big E. You know, I've watched some of that episodes.
I do know Britt Baker. Britt Baker's down there now. She's Adam Cole's girlfriend.
Do you know?
I like Britt.
Do you know who Seth Rollins beat to win the NXT title for the first title match ever? Do you know who he beat?
I know.
Yeah, it's Bo Leave, I thought.
No, nope. He beat Jinder Mahal. Yep.
That's crazy.
Interesting. Anyway, we're not done talking about Impact yet, or kinda. We want to talk about one Austin Aries. So he went on a Twitter outrage, right? The week leading into Bound for Glory. Johnny Impact, which, you know, Mr. Starship Pain,
right?
He was tweeting back at him. So, and they were in the main event at Bound for Glory. When the match was over, Johnny Impact won the match, became the Impact champion. As soon as the 1, 2, 3 was done, Aries popped up, basically no-sold the finish, flicked off Don Callis, the crowd, and left in a Vince Russo-style angles, like Aaron likes to say. So in wrestling, I always get confused, especially when the cameras are rolling. What's kayfabe, which there isn't anymore, and what's real? I still don't know. I could see it being Aries being pissed, but if your contract's done, why would you just do that? I mean, you know what I mean? If he really wanted, he would have left, not even been there to do the match, right?
Exactly.
That's how you would have. So, TJS, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, if he is done with Impact, was it just to get some buzz on the way out?
I don't know. I agree with you though. If his contract was done, why did he show up and wrestle the match? Why wouldn't he just say like, "Hey, give me the finger poke of doom"? Or if he knew he was leaving, he could have just not shown up, forfeited the title, whatever. He took the Starship Pain, took the 1, 2, 3, and then got up and no-sold it. If his contract was up, why wouldn't he just kick out at 2 like every time, just to mess up Impact's whole thing?
Yeah.
Because we know he's not professional. Austin, the unprofessional Aries. We've heard it from WWE, how he's been hard to work with. And this guy thought that he was the face of the cruiserweight division, and his cruiserweight match was on the kickoff of WrestleMania. So
do you think he's like the American Del Rio? Because Del Rio has habits of this type of stuff too.
Yes.
No
Yeah,
shows.
Maybe he's not as bad as Del Rio, but Aries, he needs to get it together because it does not make you look good when you don't know the difference between your and your on Twitter.
Yeah.
And he's not making himself look
Yeah,
good.
that was weird. If that was a work, then yeah, he might want to actually try to double check his grammar before he publishes tweets. I don't know if I told
Roman
you guys.
Reigns is the same way.
I don't know if I told you guys this story or not publicly, but I posted something about Austin Aries a couple months back, and for the graphic that I used for the post on Twitter and Facebook, I used the image of Aries shoving his crotch in Christy Hemi's face just because I thought it was funny, and sometimes I like to post funny pictures on Twitter and Facebook to go with the headlines. And he actually
know the game. Yeah.
He actually DM'd me and said, "Nice clickbait image, you hacks, you dirt street hacks."
Wow, interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I hope Aries doesn't have like demons or issues like concussion, CTE, or something. You know what I mean? If he's acting this strained publicly, I hope it's a work. You'd be concerned for people.
Apparently, it's a long-standing thing because in WWE he had a terrible attitude, from what they say, and he just walked out on WWE. That was the biggest that he's going to get. I mean, Aries is good in the ring, but he's not getting anywhere with this style of behavior. It's just very unprofessional, and I definitely don't see him coming back to WWE anytime soon.
No.
And you know
Big
what?
G.
If it is a work and he shows up for the January pay-per-view, is anybody really going to care? I don't think so. But Big G,
Their next
anything you would like to
pay-per-view
add
is in
about
January.
it? Yeah, they're doing it at the Asylum. It's Homecoming.
It's that far away.
Yeah.
It's TNA or Impact. Ooh.
Unless he wants, I know he's worked with Ring of Honor too, so unless he's just going to go be loyal to Ring of Honor and said F you, maybe Don Callis, maybe whoever's running Impact now, somebody, they had arguments, maybe that is legit, but we'll have to see. I mean, you could ruin your career when you're unprofessional like that in wrestling and never get booked.
What if Austin Aries is the conquistador next week on Raw? How about that?
I don't. I'll give somebody a free T-shirt if that happens. But yeah, I think
You'll
this
either see him back.
I think this is a no-win situation for Impact. If it's a work, nobody's going to care anyways, and if it's a shoot, then Aries looks like a complete asshole. So
why would you flip off the fans? Like, I don't understand. What did they do? They showed up.
I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what it accomplishes either way, whether it's a work or a shoot, and I really don't care. And that's what makes it sad. It is a no-win situation for Impact. Nobody cares. Big
G. Chomping at the bit.
You guys pretty much said everything. I mean, the last place I could think is Ring of Honor. When I went to Ring of Honor back during the summertime, I mean, he was there wrestling, and I think he was still part of Impact at the time because he was the title belt collector or whatever, and he had all the titles. So yeah, I think if anything, Ring of Honor. If not, he'll do some local indie shows somewhere. I don't know.
You said he's the title collector. Now he has the title of entitled asshole.
Well, when this is posted, I'm definitely tweeting the link to this video at Austin Aries. So we'll see if he DMs Aaron Rift again. We're giving honest opinions. I mean, that's the beauty. That's what the No DQ Galaxy does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on back to WWE. So on Raw this week, obviously they're still teasing the Shield thing with Dean Ambrose. What's going to happen there? We talked about this. It's going to drag out and drag out and drag out, right? Nothing will ever come to it. But Strowman, McIntyre, and Ziggler, poof. You guys have to explain exactly what happened to me with this. I take out of it that obviously, Strowman's going to be Strowman, doesn't need anybody. Brock and Roman for the Universal title. Is this McIntyre's push? Right? I mean, remember, he used to be the chosen one. He was a former Intercontinental Champion. Then we all know what happened. Fell out of favor with management, 3MB, left the company, came back, was in NXT, got hurt, and got bumped quite abruptly when he came back from injury to the main roster. He looks the part. Is he marketable? Could he be a top guy in WWE? What's your whole thought on this triangle, this group? What were they called? The Dogs of War?
Dog Pack.
Dog Pack. Okay. Break it down where each one of these guys, and your thoughts, what's going to happen with them. So who wants to go first? Big G, your hand is up. Go.
All right. So basically, Strowman is a face again after McIntyre hit the Claymore kick on him the second time, and he walked off, but he left Ziggler behind. So if they are going to do a big push for Drew, they would have to drop the titles to some random tag team on Raw.
Revival.
At this point, I don't really care about the Raw tag team division. So they would have to drop the titles. McIntyre would have to turn on Ziggler, or Ziggler would turn on McIntyre to make McIntyre a face. And then eventually down the road, after Strowman, Lesnar, and Reigns, he could go face Reigns for the Universal title, or my friend yesterday, Christian, actually said he could face Seth Rollins and have Rollins drop the IC title to McIntyre and have McIntyre as the IC champion. As far as Strowman goes, Strowman doesn't need anybody, and Ziggler can just go back to having his record scratch and the best.
All right, so you basically said Ziggler mid-card, Strowman main event, which he's kind of already been. Yeah. And then McIntyre potentially Intercontinental title picture with Seth. I mean, not bad, although McIntyre lived that once already, so.
Yeah, but, I mean, they're not going to they're not going to put the Universal title on McIntyre.
But should they? TJS?
Well, let me just say that I noticed a small detail that happened before Strowman turned heel. He said to Reigns, he's like, I told you, I'm not finished with you, which is what he said when he was a heel. and he said that before he power slammed Reigns for the first time when he turned heel.
Right.
Now, what did he say when he was babyface? He did the get these hands thing.
Yep.
On Raw, we heard him. He said like 5 times, like, you're going to get these hands. So he's back to that. He's saying to get these hands things. And he's so frustrated with the dog pack that he laid out Ziggler, and he was going to lay out McIntyre, but got the Claymore. So, I mean, it looks to me like Braun is he's becoming a babyface again. Thank God. And then, is this McIntyre's push? I don't know. It's hard to say because we have the Crown Jewel show coming up, and Braun's kind of entangled in a feud already with Roman and Brock. So maybe McIntyre gets added to that, and we make it a fatal 4-way? Since Ziggler's in the World Cup, I mean, they can't really defend the tag titles on that show. Right. So they're either going to drop the titles before then, or I don't know what's going on. But I think Ziggler is going to stay in the mid card. Braun's going to go down to the mid card, and McIntyre is moving up to the main event. I think we're going to get Roman versus McIntyre as the next big feud. So, Aaron?
Well, I'm very confused about the whole situation. I think we could still end up seeing Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman long-term in WWE, maybe as soon as Survivor Series. I know that there was a survey that apparently leaked out about WWE asking fans how interested they are in seeing Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman at Survivor Series. So I don't know how accurate that is. And I was thinking maybe WWE would try to do that match for WrestleMania, one final battle between Strowman and Reigns. I know you're shaking your head, but I'm thinking WWE logic here and what they like to do.
Give it a stipulation.
Yeah, McIntyre definitely I think is on the rise. He's got the body. He reinvented himself. I think it's only a matter of time before he does get a push towards the Universal title. When that is, I don't know. I could see McIntyre feuding with Ziggler first, if anything. I'm really curious, though. Is McIntyre going to feud with Strowman? That I don't know, but I could potentially see McIntyre and Ziggler feuding for a while, having their breakup. But they are still the tag team champions. Who beats them? I have no idea.
So, do you think that McIntyre is marketable, though? Because I think he looks like a badass. Like, he gets the bagpipes, and then he looks like, they have the camera down, sort of like the Andre the Giant thing. He's like 6'7". Like, this guy, he looks cool.
Yeah. Well, was he really a chosen one? Did Vince really endorse him back then, or was that just something they said on air?
That was just something they said on air. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, obviously they got rid of him, so I couldn't have endorsed him too much. But he's back.
I think he's a lot better than what he was back then. Even when his 2010 run, when he had the Broken Dreams thing, I think that I think he looks better now because I feel like he's a lot more buff and everything. And,
right.
He has the brutal finisher as opposed to just the butterfly DDT. He's money, and he even cuts better promos now. So
isn't that Ambrose's finisher now? Dirty Deeds, kind of, sort of, similar.
Yeah,
all right.
I like McIntyre's entrance. By the way, that's all I have to say.
I like that original theme song he used to have, but remember Broken Dreams?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, how long have we been running, Aaron? 45 minutes, 50 minutes? It's time for the main event. So we're getting close to the first ever all-female pay-per-view in the WWE. What's it called, gentlemen?
Evolution.
All right. So this is how I wrote the topic out. Is Evolution, the pay-per-view, whatever we call them today, network events, is it focusing... Critical thinking here. Is it focusing too much on Diva-era talent? Yes, we on NoDQ.com, Virtue here is saying, is it focusing too much on Diva-era talent? Is that because maybe WWE just still can't go all in with what fans want today, wrestling, and they have to rely on entertainment, looks, I'm sorry, but Lita, Trish Stratus, which is the nostalgia, the Bella Twins, looks. It seems to me that this event is getting inundated with Diva-era talent. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Everybody should be included on this first one.
Right.
But I have a feeling they just aren't all. If you want females wrestling, this is how WWE looks at it. Go to the network and watch the Mae Young Classic. So I feel, Aaron, I want to start with you. I just think that they are worried about this Evolution pay-per-view being as big of a success as they want to, so they're making sure it has the star power in their eyes. And the nostalgia and the fact that a lot of fans want to see Becky and all these younger females dominate the show, I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, we're going to see them. They're going to participate. What's your take on this? I'm getting that Vince McMahon vibe.
Right. Well, right now, I think if I was in charge, I would have maybe announced one or two more high-profile matches with the current women and put more of the focus on them. I mean, I totally understand Trish, Lita being there, the Bella Twins, Nikki versus Ronda. That all makes sense to me from a marketing standpoint. I think, though, you can satisfy those fans out there that want to see the NXT-style matches. I mean, right now, I think there's only like 5 matches that are confirmed for the pay-per-view. I would have had a full card at least a week or two ago, all set in stone, and just have 8 matches and just build it up.
There's a battle royal, right?
Yes, there is a battle royal. The winner getting a title opportunity. Well, this was obvious. This was something.
They advertised over 50 women.
Yeah, you got to get everybody a spot on the card. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. It's going to be a really interesting pay-per-view to see how it all plays out and if it can keep people invested from start to finish. It's going to be a challenge because it's something that hasn't been done. It's unprecedented. It's uncharted waters, and I hope they can pull it out. I really do.
Now, Aaron, before you pass it on, so of what you know is going to be at this event, match-wise, what are you looking most forward to? Like, if you had to pick one thing.
Probably Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. I mean, that's
even more than Becky versus Charlotte and the last woman standing?
I mean, they're both pretty close, but I thought the segment on Raw was really strong, and the problem with Charlotte and Becky is
what if their roles were reversed and we got Becky as the baby face like a lot of fans want, and Charlotte was a heel?
Okay, maybe that would change my opinion on it. But yeah, I feel like after watching SmackDown this week, WWE's still trying to make Becky the heel here, and it didn't work. Edge got booed when he started ripping into
That's
Becky.
why I was talking about hand on the Johnson thing, because they made Becky insult him, even the neck, don't break your neck on the way out, and they just let Edge take it.
It's a heel line.
Yeah,
so,
poor Edge.
So that's it is hurting my overall enjoyment of the feud.
That's where I wanted Beth Phoenix to show up. That would have been awesome.
Or something. But yeah, I thought the Raw segment was really interesting with Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. So right now, that's the match I'm most intrigued to see how that plays out. And I think that could end up having the most heat. But we'll see what happens with Becky. I think Becky and Charlotte, that match is going to have a lot of heat too. But it's going to be everyone cheering for Becky and Charlotte getting booed out of the building.
All right, well, good take. We'll go to Big G because that finger was pointing in the air again.
All right, Trish, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to give Evolution the benefit of the doubt. I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, we're going to see the current roster. We're going to see some nostalgia. We have, I think, 6 matches already. I don't know how many are confirmed, but you have all 4 titles. You have the 2 main titles. You have the NXT Women's title. You have the NXT UK title being defended. You have the Mae Young Classic final. You have the Battle Royal. You have Trish and Lita versus Alexa and Mickey. So that's 7 matches there already, including the Battle Royal, where you're going to have people from the past like Tori Wilson. They announced today Ivory is going to be there, and I think Molly Holly is going to be there. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll bring back some of my childhood. It's got NXT in there. It's got the Mae Young Classic in there. I'm looking forward to it.
Good points. It's
I'm
for everybody.
I forgot about the NXT matches, to be honest with you, because I'm thinking Bella's, Lita, Trish, Ronda.
Yeah, but for the fans that want that stuff, it's going to be represented.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for. Hopefully, it's only a 3-hour pay-per-view and not a 4-hour pay-per-view.
Right. Agree.
And
you want to make them get their time, though. You don't want to cut any match short. I mean, well, like the NXT title match, you don't want to make that the curtain jerk match. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, they usually go 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. So I mean, if it's that, then it's fine. Hopefully, they won't have no Evolution kickoff pre-match show. That'll just be stupid.
There should be no more kickoffs ever.
No, absolutely. That's my thought on it. Did CGS go yet? I can't remember. No, he didn't.
It's his turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't know about this show. I mean, of course we're getting the older, the past names, but we got those at the Women's Rumble, so it's gonna be like, hey, didn't I just see them earlier this year? So I feel like the pop's not gonna be as big. And by the way, I will mention that they announced another female Royal Rumble on Raw. When they were plugging the ticket sales, Michael Cole mentioned it very subtly. He said, don't forget, 30 women are going to also have a Royal Rumble. So we're going to be having that, and I'm really worried what WWE is going to do. Are they just going to keep relying on these old names to sell tickets? I mean, are we going to have Evolution 3 and we're going to have Trish again?
Are we going to have Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at WrestleMania?
Yeah, they need to build new stars. This is a long-standing problem for WWE. Brock Lesnar shouldn't even be in the Crown Jewel match. I think Vince needs to trust his guys enough to have them main event the shows, the newer talent. Same thing with the women. I mean, of course, we get Ronda. Ronda's closing the show with Nikki. But, I'm looking forward to that match the most, like Aaron said. And as far as Becky versus Charlotte, I'll say that it's not the first last woman standing match. That actually happened in NXT. It was Nikki Cross versus Asuka, and that is one of my favorite women's matches of all time. It's going to be very hard to top it, but we'll see what happens. So I have a feeling it's going to be 4 hours, though, because they've been starting at 7 Eastern. So we'll see.
And, building new stars is as simple as pushing them without restrictions.
Like the Shield.
CM Punk got to cut a promo, and he was already a world champion, kind of a B-show main eventer, with the Straight Edge Society, that whole era. But then they let him do the pipe bomb, and it went super over. Daniel Bryan got his push, right? They booked him strong at WrestleMania 30. They can do this, but they just don't want. I don't know what it is. I really don't. And it's just they have to take handcuffs off, and whether that even means, well, how do we get people to first like the guys we want them to like? If the fans would like Roman, we'll push Daniel Bryan back to the main event. Like, I wonder what fans would do if they were given that ultimatum by Vince McMahon, which would never happen. Well, if you kind of like Roman or support him, you don't have to fully cheer him, but don't hate him like you do. If you support him a little bit, we'll push Daniel Bryan. Wouldn't that be kind of like a cool bargaining chip?
Look at Seth Rollins in 2015. This guy was hated because he destroyed the Shield, and now he's arguably the top babyface on Raw.
Yeah.
It doesn't take. All they have to do is just. All they did was add 3.
Well, look at the Shield period. How they were.
Go ahead with Seth Rollins, and then I'll tell you my point. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, you add 3 words to his theme. The crowd gets into that. They love to burn it down. And I mean, Seth Rollins, he was in the Shield when he started out, and he just kind of blended in with the rest of them. But once he got out on his own, and he fought Sting, and he was wrestling for the Universal title, and he was endorsed by Triple H. His stock went up, and he became like a main event level superstar, which is what he is today. They just have to
last year back to I think it's because they're letting him the 75-minute match or whatever they had. The curb stomp was brought back. They're allowing Rollins to showcase what he can do, which is what the fans want to see. You think the hate for Roman would be cut in half if they at least turned him heel? Because the fans, let's see Roman heel. We hate him, so might as well make him heel. They just don't produce the wrestlers they have the right way. And I think a lot, I've had people tell me, well, Roman's not talented, or Strowman gets blown up in the ring, this and that, and this is. When it's all said and done, it's because they don't produce the wrestlers to their strengths. And I blame management, I blame creative. That's what I think why WWE stumbles, why ratings are down. It's not the talent they have. On record, doesn't WWE technically have the biggest talent pool it's ever had?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you produced it the right way, you could have great things happen. But they're cookie cuttering it. They're making it watered down, so much television. That's why I think we don't have the big star that's over anymore.
No.
Yep.
That's all I got. Anybody else want to bring up one last topic? If not, we're going to close the show.
I mean, it's just.
I have a really quick trivia question for you guys.
Oh no.
Who won?
Greg Cherry's not on the show.
Are you in the tournament, TJS? I didn't.
I'm not. But
so why are you talking?
It's just a very easy. It's a very easy question. Who won the Men's Royal Rumble in 2018?
Nakamura.
Yeah.
Look at him now. Remember what the Royal Rumble used to do?
Well, look at Asuka too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
It's because
Asuka should be right now so strong. She could be against Rousey at this Evolution. Nothing against the Bellas, but you know what I mean. But
yeah,
But
it's
now,
management.
It's their English. It's their broken English.
Yeah, but
it's so.
I was making fun yesterday. I was saying they should put all these Japanese stars together, make a faction, and have Funaki as their manager because he can speak the better English than any of them.
Sick burn.
Not a bad idea. You know what? That's creative. I'll give you that.
He's fallen off a cliff, man, and he just
because Kyrie's saying when she can't even say evolution right. She goes evolution. And I'm like, I feel bad.
There goes the thumbs down.
This reminds me of that Jinder Mahal promo about Mr. Miyagi.
The thing is, though, Japanese style wrestling, strong style that Nakamura and Asuka do, you don't need to talk. You don't need to cut promos. Yeah. There's just something about speaking in Japanese too before and after a fight, which works, right? I could hear them, those two talk in Japanese and not understand one word. And I guess Dave Meltzer actually loves Japanese promos and he doesn't even understand them because you just get that vibe about, and it's cool. It's cool. And Nakamura is looking. He's looking.
Just the tone and the attitude.
He's looking at, Nakamura is looking at his bank account going up and up and up. And at some point he's like, "Is this all worth it?" Well, yeah, because he knows he'll be headlining Wrestle Kingdom again one day. So anyway, that's it.
I mean, wrestling it's big in Japan, even WWE even, because I went to Ribera Steakhouse, and I don't know if you guys have seen that place, but there's pictures of wrestlers everywhere, and that's where they go every time they go over there.
You went to Japan. I want to go there one day because I'm a video game fan. I want to come back with a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah, I've been to Tokyo and everything. It was awesome. But and it's weird because the kids speak better English than some adults over there.
Oh,
it's
wow.
really weird. Yeah.
Yep. All right, well, good chat. This is the NoDQ review number 37, so let's make our rounds. Big G, I will start with you.
NoDQ.com/Jeff takes you to my Twitter page. You can follow me there. I'm almost at 200 followers. Instagram, NoDQ_Big G. I'm on Facebook, Jeffrey Hilltool. NoDQ.com/shirts. Everybody's got shirts there. People asked me about where I got my shirt yesterday in DC. I plugged the website, did everything I could for the website and NoDQ, and that is it for the Big G.
Sweet. TJS?
NoDQ.com/TJS takes you to my Facebook. Go ahead and add me, talk to me, send me hate mail, whatever. Twitter @NoDQ_TJS. That's where you can keep up with, like I said, my Twitter feed. Sometimes I live tweet during the shows. Sometimes I don't because I fall asleep during them because they're that bad. And like Big G said, NoDQ.com/shirts. We got tons of shirts there. You see Virtuar on that NoDQ review shirt. One of my personal favorites. He's even got the beanie, even though that's not for sale right now, but it might be in the future. So, that's all I got. Aaron.
All right, so I mentioned it earlier. Greg Cherry has his tournament set up. The brackets are available on his page. Go over to NoDQ.com/Greg. I'm apparently in the tournament. Greg never asked me about being in the tournament. He just threw me in there. So I'm in there, and apparently if I beat the first guy, I get to face Jeff. So if I had to make a bold prediction, I'm going to say Jeff is going to win his bracket. There's 4 brackets. Jeff's going to win his. Chris Cass will win one. David Diaz will win his, and then Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret will win his, and that's going to be those final four, and then they'll have their little mini tournament, and then the winner faces Greg Cherry for the
It's gonna be a
championship.
good tournament though, and guys, like check out the bracket, guys. That's gonna be
Wait,
good.
what are they calling that thing? It's Crown Jewel World Cup?
World Cup.
That's what this should be. This should be the World Cup.
The No DQ World Cup. I like it. Well,
Yeah.
again, you guys go over to nodq.com/Greg, and you can get more info there, and you can send your feedback to Greg Cherry. All right, Virtue, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
All right, follow me on Twitter at NoDQ_Virtue, and you can go see my Virtues Rages, which usually, are there still Tuesday nights, Big G, normally? Tuesday nights at 11 over on NoDQ.com/Virtue with a small V. So, with that said, I am Virtue for Big G, TJS, and Aaron Rift. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.